waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all punch that like button on your way in the building. And y'all make sure next Tuesday night, y'all come check out Dolphins Collective, brought to you by Hog Media. There will be a live show on Dolphins Collective on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Omar Kelly, Alan Poupar, Dudley Do Wrong, and yours truly, TD Fans Talk. Every Tuesday night. This is not a one-time affair. This is every Tuesday night. So come over to Dolphins Collective. That is a new YouTube channel dedicated solely for the Dolphins Collective show. So you'll be able to listen on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more, or you can watch it live streaming on YouTube. All right. Be there, be square. Listen, we're bringing the all-pro crew together. I mean, that's how I look at it. This is the all-pro crew. Listen, y'all already know I ain't trying to make nobody mad. I ain't trying to, we got a lot of great creators and a lot of writers and everything. But this is our all-pro crew. All right. Omar Kelly, Alan Poupar, Dudley Do Wrong, and myself, TD Fans Talk. Breaking down everything Miami Dolphins. Everything Miami Dolphins. We're going to be getting into it all. So don't miss out Tuesday nights, all right? Dolphins Collective. Y'all get used to that name. And go over to the channel right now and subscribe. Go over to Dolphins Collective and subscribe right now, all right? The channel is already up, all right? So go check it out. If you haven't yet, make sure that you go check it out right now. It's already up. All right. So go subscribe right now to Dolphins Collective. All right. It has one subscriber, and we're going to build that up from scratch. So y'all can go over right now and sub to the channel. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let's get it. All right. So tonight, we have the therapy session. Put the link in the comments. I got you. Y'all give me a second. All right. I'll put it in the comment section. Give me one moment. All right, Phil. Give me a second. I have the link. Let me copy the link. All right, let me put it in the chat. Oh. All right. All right, there you have it. It's in the chat right now. It's in the chat right now. Let me see here. Yep. All right, it's in the chat. Go ahead and click on it. Go subscribe. All four of us gentlemen, we're building this channel from scratch. Where we're going to meet up every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. and we're going to chop it up. The Dolphins Collective, all right? As you can see, nothing's on the channel yet, but when you go on, you'll be able to see it. We got you, TD. Y'all already know, man. I'm gonna be in the Lions Den. Omar making his excuses, Doug trying to be neutral, and Poopar, poking the bear here and there. It'll be pretty dope, man. So y'all come through, get ready for it. We're gonna be having fun over there. All right. Look at that. We already got 40 subscribers just from this stream. All right. So we'll get it up. But Dolphins Collective link is in the chat. Let me pin it at the top so when people come in late, they'll be able to see it. All right. Let me see. All right. Pin message. There we go. All right. We're good. We good. I just pinned it at the top. DF forever representing. But y'all hit the like button on this stream. Let's go. Hit that like button. Content creators getting together is a great thing. Yeah. I like the blend. You got Alan and Omar, who's always in the building. And me and Doug covering all aspects of the news. And then you bring all of that together. It's big stuff. Your boy King Mills said TD stay making power moves. No, man, this is actually my agent actually got this together. My agent's company's name is Hog Media. And he, we were talking about it. He reached out to everybody and he got it together. We all did our thing and we decided, we agreed on all the, details, all the working the stuff out. And yeah, man, I think this will be huge for the Dolphins community. You actually getting two of the best, what many people would at least say are two of the best creators. I don't like to, compare myself to no creators. I just do me. But what a lot of people say are two of the best creators, and then two of the most, noticeable, likable writers or guys that cover the team. And you put that together, man, this should be electric, man. It should be fire. It should be really good. I'm going to be in the midst of a whole bunch of people that don't like me and a whole bunch of people that love me, a whole bunch of people that like Omar, a whole bunch of people that don't like him, a whole bunch of people that like Doug and a whole bunch that don't, and a whole bunch of people that like Poopar and a whole bunch that don't. So it's going to be a nice, beautiful blend where at least everybody will have, what they believe about the team represented. That was the goal. That was the key to it. I believe everybody will have somebody on the panel who represents how they feel and what they believe. And that's what's up. And that's how it's supposed to be. Because us four, we're adults, man. There ain't going to be no beef. There ain't going to be no drama. I feel like us four, we're adults. All that other extra little drama-filled stuff, no, we stay away from that. That's old news, And yeah, there are gonna be some haters, there are gonna be some mad people about this. But hey, man, if you don't make the all-pro team, you don't make the all-pro team, man. Get in the lab. You just gotta go work. Go work, man. That's all. TD, to be honest, I think Fin fans needed this. I agree. And that's the crazy thing. They did need this. And a lot of people approach me with ideas like this, but they were, in my opinion, they weren't the right people for me. They weren't the right people. That these are, in my opinion, these are the right people to talk Dolphins football where nobody's going to get in their feelings or get mad at each other and take things personal. Just a good Miami Dolphins conversation without the drama. Oh, well, yeah, we gonna come at each other. Yeah, we gonna debate it. Yeah, we gonna disagree, agree, but that's what it's about, man. And I think this show is gonna take off. This show right here is gonna take off. Every Tuesday night. Hey, don't worry about it, William. That stuff like that we'll talk about on the show. We'll talk about it on the show. Oh, I'm good. What's good with everybody watching right now? Y'all hit that like button. And that's what's up. We got 62 subs on it already. You know what? Let's get 100 subs on Dolphins Collective. Let's get 100 subs on Dolphins Collective real quick, and then I'll drop the link. Let's do that. Let's get 100 subscribers on Dolphins Collective. This is the new channel. Let me move my fat face off of here real quick. Give me a second. Let me move that. This is the new channel, Dolphins Collective. Let's get 100 subs. We already got 62. Just from this stream alone, let's get 100. Let's get 100. Why not? Y'all don't be lazy about it. Come support it. Come support it. Let's go. And literally, when you look at it, we got 180 people over here right now on YouTube. So let's get 100. Y'all on Twitter, you got to come over to YouTube because this ain't going to be on Twitter. This is going to be on YouTube. So if you're watching on Twitter right now, you got to come to YouTube to catch the show. Or you can catch it on Apple, Spotify, all of that. We're going to drop the audio as well. 32 more to go. Y'all don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Oh, man, I don't know why this water tastes so good right now. Hit that like button and go over and sub right now to Dolphins Collective. We're going to get this first 100. We're going to get this first 100 right here on this stream. First live stream, I believe, is this Tuesday coming up. It should be this Tuesday coming up. So we're going to get rolling, man. Because we already obviously got a lot to talk about. We obviously already got a lot to talk about. But y'all got to come on. 21 more. 21 more. Come on. Hey, don't be lazy. Just get it done. Let's just do it now. Do it now. Hit that subscribe button on Dolphins Collective. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. And remember, if it's somebody on this panel you don't like, hey, it's all good. Because you got somebody that's going to represent you out of these four guys. Somebody share your views. Somebody on here love Tua. Somebody on here don't love Tua. Somebody over here think this team winning the Super Bowl this year. Somebody on here don't. Hey, come on. All right, 14 more. We almost there. I wish TD could motivate Tua like this. Oh man, let's see. Now you asking for big tasks. That's a hard one there. Who doesn't love Tua? Everybody loves Tua. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to tell them. I see TD, I click. I see Doug, I click. Win-win. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, 8 more. 8 more to go. Come on, don't be lazy. 8 more to go. We got 195 people on YouTube watching right now. 53 on Twitter. Come on over to YouTube and subscribe to Dolphins Collective. And if you can't find it, you need to watch TD Finstalk channel right now. And it'll be over there. We got 2 people on Twitch. What's up, my Twitch family? Go over to Dolphins Collective on YouTube and subscribe. 2 more. We at 98. We're at 98. All right. 102. Thank y'all. All right. All right, let me send it off to the crew. All right. All right. Let me let them know. All right, we good to go. That's a good cast. Yes, it is. Let me see here. All right, all right, all right. So we good on that. Thank y'all so much for dropping the first 108. We'll probably have a 150 when people rewatch it. We'll get up there. I know the rest of the fellas they're gonna start promoting tomorrow. We just got the graphics and all of that in. So if y'all want to do me a favor, y'all can screenshot this too if you want. All right. We're going to screenshot this. I'm going to put it on my socials too. But you can screenshot this and put it out there on social media. Let them know, man, this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one every Tuesday night. All right. So let them know. This is going to definitely be a big one. I just give TD heck of AFC East at AFC East. TD, please don't hold back. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. All right. I'm not. We're going to have fun, but we're going to do it the right way. But, hey, it's time to drop these facts. It's time to drop these facts and get out of our feelings. It's time for us to talk facts and not feelings. This team is crumbling before our eyes. Don't sell me bad goods. Do not sell me a rotten fruit. All right? It's that simple. All right. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about on the show. Listen, and Doug's going to narrate it. Doug's going to narrate the show. I think we all agree. Omar said, hey, Doug should narrate. They already know what Ty said. I agree. Let's let Doug narrate, and then let's go. The facts ain't good. I know it, but you got to live in facts. You can't live in fiction. You can't live in fiction. All right. You got to walk in facts. It's that simple. All right. Let me get this off my screen now. I watch all of y'all, TD. That's what's up, man. Now you get us on one screen together. Yeah, Doug has the strength and voice to do that job. Yeah. And Doug, he can stay even keel, He'll stay even keel for sure. But anyway, let me drop the link. Let's get in here, do what we came to do. Let's do what we came to do. Talk about this team. The link has been dropped. If you want to come in, chat it up with me about how you feel about the team. What's your thoughts on the latest news with Teron Armstead retiring? Do you still believe the Dolphins, this year? Let's get it. All right. All right, man. First one up, Greg said we back, man. What's up, Greg?
What's up, TD? How you doing?
I don't know. You tell me. How should I be doing?
I don't know. I think we're gonna be in for a rough year right now with this news of Armstead retiring. I think Patrick Paul. I'm not gonna. Obviously he's not what he is right now, but I'm gonna have a little hope, but a little be optimistic. But he's no Teron Armstead, and I'm gonna be honest, TD. I believe we're in this position. You know my opinions on Tua. I don't think he's going to win us a Super Bowl or lead us to a Super Bowl. But I believe we're in this situation because of Christopher Greer. I think he mismanages roster, and it all goes back to the 2022 draft. We traded for Tyreek, obviously, and then we had really no draft picks to add to the core. But then in 2023, we had Holland, Wilkins, Hunt, all those guys coming up on contracts. And where Chris Greer messed up, he didn't get those extensions done, right? And we only had a few picks in the 2023 draft, which I was saying at pick 51, we should trade back, get some more extra picks in these later rounds, and try to maybe find some gems before, and hopefully maybe pay some of these guys like the Ravens of the world and the Niners of the world. They hit on their late round draft picks. And then this year, I was saying the same thing. We need to trade back, get more picks, get some depth. Because right now, TD, there's no core. Like you said it earlier, we have just Chop and Waddle as our young core. Channing Tindall, he's basically, I don't know where he's at. Smith, we don't know much about. I mean, Patrick Paul, we don't know about. There's like no young core, and it all has to do with Christopher Greer and his mistakes. And you know what I fear most is, TD, we might win 98 games, and Stephen Ross might keep Christopher Greer and Mike McGeek around and Tua and run it back next season. And that's not good.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you're right. You're right. That's the tough part of it all. But here's my deal, though. Do you, in any world, do you have any optimism about this year? Like a spark of, man, what if we, like just anything in you left that believes that, I mean, we still got a chance, though.
I mean, the only way we could, I mean, honestly, is if we can have a decent draft and we get some, good value at the picks. I mean, that's the only way maybe we get, some good rookies in here to lift the spirit of the team, because right now I think we're going to be middle of the pack. I think we might, I mean, look at our schedule. I mean, we have to face really good teams, and we seemingly can't beat winning teams. And I really have no hope in this season. If you ask me, I'm just hoping what Doug says. I'd rather be surprised than let down. So I'm going with surprise me Miami and let's shock the world, because I have no optimistic on this future. I think we're heading towards a rebuild next season.
That's tough, man. That's tough, Greg. But thanks for coming through, Greg. I appreciate you, man.
You got it.
Man, oh man, I see everybody stacking up backstage. We're gonna get to everybody as quick as we possibly can. I appreciate some of y'all coming through. Before we move forward, I want to drop the link in the chat. We're gonna pin another link in the chat. This is the membership to the channel. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm trying to get a lot of members on the channel. I got 101 members, but I looked at some of my buddies, and when they showing me 400 and 500 members to their channel, I'm like, man, I got to step my game up, man. I need more people locked in to the channel. So the link is I just pinned the link at the top of the chat. If you want to become a member of the channel, click on that link and hit the join. All right. And also, if you're already a member, you can gift people membership that might not have the few bucks or whatever, because, it is what it is. But if you want to give someone a membership, hit that join button. All right. All right, man, let's bring the homie in. Listen, hey, this the new homie. This the new homie. He invited me on the show. We had a good time. The number one touring. What up, Tony?
Oh, yo, I know. I appreciate the introduction.
You over here now?
Hey,
Where
listen,
Lou is that, man?
Listen, man. Listen, the first step to recovery is admittance. And I don't think you admitted already. This season it's been done since the end of last season, TD. I don't know what you got going on. You selling this hopium. I'm over here to say, y'all.
Selling hopium.
You talking about you giving all kind of reasons and hope of what we could do better. And no, it's been done since the end of last season. Matter of fact, hold on, let me change that, TD. It's been done since we extended tour. Season been done.
Okay.
It's been over with. I'm here to speak the truth. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's when you realized it.
No, well,
when we extended tour.
Yeah, that's when I gave up. I ain't gonna lie.
But the difference between me and you, and by the way, my name is Tony too. Okay.
I know.
But the difference between this Tony and this Tony,
you point the right
he
way.
realized when we extended him. I realized before we drafted him.
TD.
Drops Mike.
Before you drafted him. Well, you know what?
I realized before we drafted him what time it was gonna be.
What you said before? See, I wasn't around then. I'm new to this.
I know. I told everybody that Tua is the type of quarterback that's gonna be good enough not to be good enough.
Okay.
He's gonna be good enough to mess you up and get an extension, but not good enough to ever do anything with it and take you anywhere. He's the worst quarterback you can have because they keep you in purgatory.
Yeah, because they keep the hope in alive with some of the delusional fans.
So you weren't around for the first 4 years when I became the enemy of the Dolphins community because of that tape.
So I was a big Joe Burrow fan. Anyone that know me, I'm a Joe Burrow fan. Back when Tua was in college and he didn't get it done, I'm not really a big fan of those guys, especially when you have the best team in college football and you can't get the job done. And I know people give him hope for the walk-off with Devonta Smith. Bro, no one had film on you. They didn't know what to expect. So I didn't get – now, his first full season, he's the only quarterback that was on that roster that didn't win a championship. So and then coming off an injury, I wasn't impressed. And I'm not easy to be impressed. But the Teron Armstead thing, which I know I was on your live earlier. You know, I had to tell you, when you talking about Tua is being unhappy, he looked real happy on that boat. He looked real happy when he was popping bottles at the club down here in Miami when he was up the yacht. He looked real happy.
There's a difference.
I know, but you can't.
Tua's unhappy with the roster, but he happy on the boat because he got paid. I'm paid no matter what. That's what's going on. He's paid no matter what.
I'm glad you said that because when me and Lewis was debating on whether Brandon Shore was right or wrong for not wanting to extend him, I was trying to explain to him with that he should have thought about. Well, the franchise should have thought about that when they gave that extension. And Todd, you know how much money is allocated to this man?
Yeah.
And now we technically see now me and Lewis, we got like a difference in opinion because we both think the rebuild is in. They sneaking one past our nose. I'm not fooled. I see what y'all doing. I think it's a 2-year rebuild sneakily, and Lewis think it's over with next season. Everyone gonna be gone. I do believe everyone's gonna be Ramsey, Tyreek. Hey, I'm gonna say that for the channel, but it's gonna be a surprise player that a lot of people probably not even thinking about that might be unhappy behind the scenes that no one's talking about because they're a stand-up guy. And I'm sorry, but
I already know who it is. I already know who it is.
I
got birdies in my ear telling me.
But you see, when the birdie told you that the fix
he didn't even get 1,000 yards last year. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I hear you might know a little something.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. When the birdie was saying the fix was in, when they told you that, they should have been told you that at the end when Tua went down week 2. Yeah. I'm telling you, when we was in the offseason and I was crying and fighting with everyone in here to let that man play on that 5th year option, and everybody was telling us about his family and why he deserved it and he led the league and like what those numbers mean, leading the league and what? When all the quarterbacks was down, they was all out, and then that still gave us the what? First round exit, and the end of the season collapsed.
Well, it's going to be worse this year when we win 8 or 9 games and get the 18th pick in the draft. If
they win 8 or 9 games, I'm going to be highly upset. They need to be around 4 or 5. And I listen, over under 8 games for Tua next season. Let me ask you that then, TD.
Say that again.
Over under 8 games for Tua.
That he's playing?
Yeah, yes, over under.
He playing 17 next year.
Oh,
he playing 17.
Right,
see,
man.
No. When his back against the wall, he gonna play the 17, but it's gonna be 9 wins. Just missed the playoff, but he was healthy. We just need to build around him. The excuses gonna come.
Now, TD, I need you to stay consistent now, because
no.
You wanted to
Don't act like I'm advocating for it. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen. I'm not like, please make that happen. No, I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Well, let me tell you what you also said. And it was earlier too. I was in there. I was listening to you, right? And then you talk about the sky's falling because Patrick Paul playing. Now, Patrick Paul and Liam Eichenberg on the same line. I thought offensive line was trash. How we gonna play a 4th season with the garbage offensive line? Somebody please make that make sense for me. The math ain't mapping for me, and I'm pretty good at math, but it ain't mapping for me. So what? Correct me, please help me out, TD. I'm asking for your help now. As a new Tua near, and we got that Tua near combination, right?
I gotta find it. I'll put it up in just a moment.
Please let me know how he's gonna stay healthy with 2 of the worst offensive line in the NFL. Tell me how. A guy that has 1 healthy season and 6. Please explain to me this. Tua is. Listen, man. I don't, and I'm not a big Patrick Paul hater. I unlike you, I don't think he was terrible last season. Now, Patrick Paul.
I mean, he only
played like
played
3 games.
like 3-4 games.
3.
But
Hey,
it was
everybody's
bad,
putting him.
bro. It was
But everybody,
actually
no.
bad.
He looked bad against Myles Garrett. Let's
No,
keep it
he
100.
was bad. He had like one little solid moment, and y'all let that blind y'all.
Hold on. So you say one solid moment.
One solid moment, bro.
How many terrible moments he had?
All the rest of it.
Get out of here.
You just ain't notice it. You just ain't notice it. And you talking about Tua. You asked me how was Tua going to stay healthy. You asked me how was Tua going to stay healthy, right?
Right, facts. No, yeah. You based from your standpoint of.
Hey, we good. Hey, we good. We good, baby. Tush push, baby. Let's go. Oh, it's ready.
I'm not even gonna lie. I won't prepare for that one, TD.
I know you would. Hey, we over here now, baby. Hey, we ready. We are ready. Our boy playing 17. Matter of fact, he playing 20. He playing 20 games. Super Bowl, 20 games. Baby.
See now. Okay, so
look in his eyes?
I get it. You know what, TD? I just noticed that. Hold on, let me take a look. This is how I feel to be on the Two and Near channel. Yo, I didn't know this one.
He done crossed the line. He done crossed. So we're going to give him a chance to apologize for that one.
Hey, up to 20 games?
Hey, if you want to stick around, hang out, I'm going to bring people on with us, all right?
I for sure. Yeah, I stick around for you. I got you, bro.
Talk to me, Glenn. What's up, man?
Man, you guys let these Dolphins get to you. It's so funny.
Glenn, stop it, Glenn.
What's the minimum? What's the minimum that Greer will have to do to save his job?
To me or Ross?
What will he have to do to save his job?
Man, to me, this is what I don't like. Win a playoff game, but I would require more. But if he win a playoff game,
you know what's going to happen. He don't do minimum enough for Greer to be happy, and he don't save his job. Might as well count it down.
Why you come on here with the doom and gloom, Glenn?
Hey, it ain't doom and gloom. That man will pull out a rabbit. Here's what he will do. He will go through this draft. People will say he has an okay draft. Then it will come to June 1st, and he will make a trade like he did with Ramsey or something like that. And all of a sudden, we don't think, holy smokes, he's cooking.
Hey, Glenn, I'm being honest with you.
Look at him. Greer's cooking. He did it last year.
Who did he bring in? Not gonna let him use them picks no more, Glenn. He on probation. He on probation.
Wait. Who did he bring in last year that made it look like he was cooking? Clarence Campbell came in, and everybody's like, woo, yeah. Year before, Ramsey, or a couple years. It's crazy. He brings in a person, and you'll be able to get some people after June 1st thing for pretty cheap. They'll be old, hurt from last year or something, but he will do just enough to save his job. I'm telling you, as much as I want that man gone, that man will survive.
I don't think no one can be fooled by those tactics anymore. They should. If anyone is still getting fooled by those splash tactics, you remember he brought in OBJ too. They was washed. Yeah. They just big names with them. They washed.
But he does that.
Fooled.
Yep, and I'm telling you now, everybody now. Here's something that you haven't said, TD. Even if we got the best players in those positions, defensive and offensive, what you don't get, I don't care who you bring in, you don't get that leadership that you just lost with Armstead and Calais Campbell.
Yeah. Well, I'll say I have said this, Glenn. Well, I'm not really worried about Armstead, even though he was a leader. Calais Campbell came and showed you what a leader looked like last year.
Yeah. But
and
I'm saying
that's gone.
Those are 2
year. That's the problem.
but that's even for you don't even have Armstead teaching the young tackle how to be a tackle in the NFL now.
Hey, TD, I'm not going to lie. I think you're underestimating the Teron Armstead leadership. If you go to games and watch them live, he's the only one that's walking that sideline, coaching people up.
That's what I'm saying.
And defense too.
I don't underestimate it. The point that I'm making about Armstead, I'm not worried about losing his because he had his foot in it for 3 years already.
Okay.
Whatever impact he could have, he's already instilled. There isn't much more he can do. But Calais immediately changed the tone of that defense. He was up in those guys.
Yeah, but he could have helped. He could have helped the young tackle with
That's why he retired,
blocking aside.
That's why he retired. They were like, "Hey, we need you to help Patrick Paul. Yeah, let's do a restructure. Bring me down to minimum. Let me think about this.
Let me retire."
Or maybe he felt like the guy had it.
Man, Calais out of here. Let me not be an idiot. Let me get up out of here. I ain't got time to be somebody who I was trying to teach last year.
Maybe he felt like Patrick Paul was ready to take over the reins. It could be the opposite. Now you with the doom.
I ain't knowing. See, the thing about Patrick Paul is you see how much they know, how much confidence they have on them and what they go after the draft. But
no, Glenn, that's the scary part. That's the scary part, Glenn, because if they go after a left tackle early, then they have no confidence in him.
If they
don't,
you're right. You are right about that.
But here's the problem: if they don't go after a left tackle, I'm still scared because they would actually go out, even if Patrick Paul was bad and they had no faith in him, they would go out there regardless with him.
But history tells you that's what they're going to do. It shows you that already.
But
thank you.
So okay,
why you
but
think
I don't know.
Was still on the team because
you could take a left tackle. You could take a left tackle and put him at guard the first year.
TD, what do you think about
no. Not Patrick Paul.
I'm saying, what do you think about it? You don't think they can do that?
Too much.
You could take a left tackle, put him the one that you draft, put him at left guard, and then you have a backup plan in case Patrick Paul fails.
Yeah. Everybody agreed Patrick Paul cannot be shifted to a guard.
But you said because of his length?
No.
The length, his build is what's
the difference between him and Robert Hunt? They the same size.
No. Robert Hunt actually has these guys are different. These guys are different. Their movement is different.
6'6" though. He's
the movement.
But you can bring in
the movement. Oh, I thought you talking about the height. Okay. The movement. Okay.
Yeah, his movement total. Don't even compare him to Robert Hunt.
Yeah, I think his height.
No, one of the
keeps him off balance.
If you went with the left tackle, you could bring him into. If you went with one of the left tackles, you could hopefully bring him in and put him at left guard. And then if Patrick Paul fails,
on the left guard, you can't have two rookies on the left side of the line. That's a recipe for disaster. Two rookies? Well, a 1 year guy and a rookie, that's disaster waiting to happen.
Well, you don't have a choice. Who else you don't put on the line?
Hey, that's the
you don't have nobody else.
Just so you know, Tony. Just so you know, Hunt 6'4", Paul 6'8".
No. Robert Hunt.
I haven't verified that.
Robert Hunt is 6'6". Hold on, let me double check.
You sure about that?
Yeah, because I remember all season we was talking about it because I think Patrick Paul is 6'7", right? But let me look it up. Maybe I got that wrong. I'll stand corrected if I do.
Yeah, Robert Hunt.
Patrick Paul is too slow to play guard.
So he is 6'6".
Yeah.
So I know I want to because we had an off-season debate about this, and I went and looked it up. I'm like, yo, he's only 1 inch.
Patrick Paul is 6'7".
6'7". Yeah, he's only 1 inch short.
I'm telling you, his movement, he can't play guard, bro.
Well,
he can't play guard.
You got a legitimate argument, but I'm talking to more of the people that say, "Oh, he's too tall, too. I can't look over him." He played with Robert Hunt for years, which is you can't think about that. I know that, but for the movement, because I do think his height and his lack of technique is his weakness. And in that guard, if you can't have that weakness in the middle, because that's pressure straight up the middle.
And Tua don't need to see over lineman anyway. He spot throws, so.
Hey, how long do we have with Tua?
Bob Purley said he do it 40% of the time. You heard about that?
How many years do we have with Tua?
We made to a Super Bowl that way.
Tua do it 70. How many years we got with Tua
before we could get off him?
2027.
I mean, you can get off after this year, but
that's how long. That's how long Greer will be here.
It's going to be a huge.
That's how long Greer will be here.
Next
27 is ideal.
Yeah, 27 is
that's how long Greer will be here.
I don't know, man.
Greer
like he might be a little safe.
Greer will be here till 27.
Man,
hey, Dolphin Insider X, you in here, man? Or you muted?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on,
what you got to add to this, man?
All right, what you say?
What you got to add to this?
All right, so I know earlier we were talking about Tua and how he may be upset because he won a better O-line, but you got to remember the contract is $212 million. So he wants a restructure. He wants to be on this roster 2027 and 2028. Like that's one thing. Like he's probably upset at both, because also what message are they sending him by not restructuring him? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he feel away.
That gives us hope.
That exactly. We get hope on top of if we restructure, that's more money for you to go get me better offensive linemen. I think he pays attention to what we say online. Like people talking about Flores hurt his feelings, but we talk way worse than Flores ever talked about to online. And I think he pays attention. He don't, but what was the cheesy chip finger eater comment he made? Well, that was about people what they were saying online.
But that was a media asking him that question. So that's how that got to him. But as far as the people online, he don't have to listen to that unless one of the beat writers.
But he does.
Yeah, he pays attention. I'm saying he does.
We know that, but I'm just saying.
So you know what he pays attention to? He's paying attention to build the wall. That's a whole. I know he knows that phrase. That's a phrase a lot of people online have been saying. Build the wall, build the wall. He's probably bought into that.
Quotation marks to a statement. Quotation, and I quote: "I get the ball out quick, brother."
Oh, that's dead.
What he said.
That's dead. We passed that.
But that's what he said. I'm saying. He came back up from that. Yeah, he can't be. Yeah, he said that. Not us.
He opened his mouth.
Did he get the ball out quick? Did he get the ball out quick at that Texas game when he took off running and they hit his hip?
That's his business.
Yeah, for real. We don't care what he did. We talk about what he said.
That's his business. I know he ain't got to get it out quick this year. We ready. We ready. We giving concussions. We ain't taking them no more. We ain't taking them no more. We giving them.
Whoever made that need a raise. I'm telling you right now.
But here's what I will say. These are the fans I'm tired of. I'm gonna be honest with you. These are the fans I'm tired of.
And TD said,
y'all been giving me that for 5 years now.
That better be an old tweet.
TD talked bad about that camera on his head.
That
you talk bad about that camera.
Sure did.
No.
Scholar wore that camera for a little bit.
Apologies. What apologies?
How they gonna put the camera on this one, Glenn?
Hey, that's a tripod. That's a tripod there. He got the damn thing.
I think everyone that had a hand in signing him and giving him that extension, they owe us an apology. And that's a fact. I'm sorry.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it. They'll never come back and apologize.
And I'm gonna tell you this because I've been messaging TD. No, like I'm related to one of the people that's on the team, bro. And y'all can take this. Y'all can take this for whatever you want. But I was told that during like the last games of the season, Teron took some people out to eat and told them that this was the decision he was gonna make, and this is when the season was still going. So I don't know. Like I don't know if that means Greer and them were moving. Like maybe he'll change his mind, or if they knew this whole time and they just kept it under wraps. But I was told he took them out to dinner crying, saying, "Hey, this it."
And you know what? He probably did that, and the bad part about it is they were trying to convince him to change his mind. Probably.
Hey, is that party true? When they had the guy giving a speech at his retirement party? Is that true? that it's a video going.
I didn't hear
around.
about no retirement party. I just know
it's a
they
video
said
going around
he took
on
some
X
people out to dinner.
It's a video going around on X. Someone making it's a I forgot who it was giving a speech at his retirement party, and I'm like, if that's true and he having a retirement party already, then yeah, that's decision been made. This is not a late decision. He's made his mind made up. If it's coming from that standpoint.
Tyreek Hill just tweeted, "Congrats to my boy T-Stead. Man, I'm crying real tears because he know it's over." Oh man.
Oh Lord. I don't want to hear from Tyreek either.
All our leadership gone, man. Like,
I know y'all. Tyreek
who's the leader? Ramsey?
Go to. We don't have a leader. One thing is, I'm sorry, we don't have a leader. We got people that run a seat. Who? Name one.
Brandon Shore.
That's
Brandon
a fact. Hey, that's a fact.
Hold on, real quick. Before we get into this Brandon Shore, I'm happy at what Brandon Shore did, but as I sat back and I thought about everything, I'm a little skeptical about Brandon Shore. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Speaking up and saying don't give Tua the contract, beautiful. But how many of our players did we lose because he did that? Like Robert Hunt, Christian Wilkins, all of them guys. I started thinking about that. I'm like, well, this is the guy that's responsible for not locking down them contracts early too.
Well, do you think he was wrong for doing that? The only one I'll say,
you gotta lock Christian in early.
No, you don't. Why?
Because it was
why? What he did? What have he did for us? How many divisions have? Matter of fact, how many? You know what, TD? I want to do you like this on your own channel. But how many big plays, game-changing plays he made for us when the game was on the line or the division was on the line or playoff was on the line? How many times he showed up in those games?
Tony. Christian Wilkins at the price that we could have got him for a year earlier was very valuable to us. What you don't realize about Christian Wilkins, this is who Christian Wilkins is as a player. He was not that dominant tackle. He was not that defensive tackle that's just the most dominant, imposing guy. He was a guy who would pester. He gave Josh Allen problems, which was very important for us. Not only that, you know what I loved about Christian Wilkins at the right price? He never, ever gave up on a play. A play could be 50 yards down the field. Why is he making the tackle?
And here I am thinking you got higher standards than the guy that can stay on field.
No,
I thought you had higher standards than that.
No. I'm not talking about a $30 million Christian Wilkins. I'm talking about a guy that I feel like you could have got for 18 a year earlier. That's all.
They weren't gonna do that. They weren't gonna do that early. They weren't gonna do that early.
18 was still too much money.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I want to give him
that was too early.
Was it too much with the void we got now?
Yeah,
but
yes,
it
was. It wasn't no drop off for Calais Campbell. No. It's Calais. So now is Zach Sealer a Christian Wilkins merchant, or is Christian Wilkins another dominant D tackle because he was dominant in Clemson, but he had Dexter Lawrence next to him. The only time he got dominant over here is when Zach Sealer stepped up. So who's the real merchant here?
They needed each other.
They needed each other. Zach and Christian was bomb. They were bad boys on that D-line, bro. They needed. They were good.
Zach Sealer did the same thing without him. Am I wrong? Am I right?
Sealer did the same thing without him because Calais Campbell played at that level.
Okay, but when have we seen? Hold on.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Calais Campbell only played 40% of the snaps this season.
Yeah, but in those 40, he played very. As a matter of fact, let's back up for a second.
He balled up.
Zealer was better with Christian Wilkins than Calais.
That's
Don't sit here and act like Zealer was all of a sudden way better this year.
What was the downplay in his production? What was the downplay on the field? Hold on. And he missed. Didn't he miss like 3 games? Still had the same production this year?
No. You're missing it. Zealer was better with Christian Wilkins. He played less, but he had more opportunities with Calais because Calais was barely on the field as much.
But I'm saying Zealer missed 2 or 3 games, didn't he, with the I think?
But he
still gave the production.
He made up for that because he
didn't have no bookends.
No. Zealer had higher usage last year, so he make up for whatever games you saying he missed.
And he would have had better
usage.
You see what you said? He missed games, and his production made up for the games he missed. So just imagine the production he gave you with the games he would have played.
but he had higher usage because we didn't have as much of a rotation.
That shows you he's not a Christian Wilkins merchant.
No, he played more is why he matched that production.
How many snaps? Did he have more snaps last year?
Are we going to sit here and act like Zealer doesn't stand on his own anyway, though?
Yeah, that's all.
Stand on his own.
He stands on his own.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when he has a good defensive tackle next to him, that makes life easier for everybody.
But that's what that goes to everyone else on that line too.
Chubb was playing.
So let's not take away his credit.
It does go for everybody else.
I see him going beating double teams. I seen him giving the effort that he's been given with Zach Sealer. But you see, but you didn't answer my question yet. We have yet to see Christian Wilkins on standalone and perform because without Zach Sealer, he was just a dude that get a lot of tackles running downfield.
That's it.
With Zach Sealer, he's a dominant. His sacks went up, and when he was in college, he had Dexter Lawrence right next to him at Clemson.
Christian Wilkins was very good at disrupting the run and creating pressures on the quarterback and making those.
I always hear this narrative. Though about disruptor, Christian Wilkins, and TV. You just did it, right? You said he was a disruptor of Josh. Again, you said
he always gave him problems.
Well, again, how many problems did he give Josh Allen? Josh Allen had 11 wins against him.
No. I get that, but again, we're just talking about one player here and his impact. I'm not saying that Christian Wilkins is Myles Garretting it out here or any top defensive lineman. Okay, what I am saying to you is when you look at defensive linemen punching in $40 million right now. I wouldn't have given Christian 30, but are y'all kidding? Where you wouldn't have gave him 18?
I think
I'm not paying him more than Zach Sealer. No,
really going down that low?
What has he done to merit you giving him more than Zach Sealer? No. Please explain to me when we got another dude at D tackle getting paid what Zach Sealer is getting paid, and you're gonna pay a dude that don't have better production than me $8 million more?
And Tony, not only that. Oh no, go ahead, TD. My fault.
So if your logic, wait. With your logic, that means hand should automatically get the same as Sealer.
No, why? He don't have nowhere near the production.
Absolutely, no, absolutely not. No.
What I'm saying is y'all looking at 18 million as the raw number. The 18 million is tied into the fact that he had his 5th-year option with us. He would have really equated to about 12 million per year. When you really look at the term of the contract, if you would have re-signed Christian Wilkins on a 5-year deal with 18 per, making around about 92 million, you literally for the next 5 years would have really only been paying an average. Because we already know these guys don't make it to year 4 and 5. So the first 3 years, you were only going to pay them about 36 million, and you were only going to guarantee about 40 of it. Let's just be honest. That's what it was going to be the year before. They got
3 dudes for cheaper than that, and got the same production out of 3 different dudes: Benito Jones, Deshaun Hand, and Calais Campbell.
Well, the problem with that is this, Tony. You got to hit on that every year instead of locking down a guy long term. That's the problem. Don't say Deshaun Hand is doing what Christian Wilkins is doing.
No. I said we got the same production with 3 guys: Calais Campbell, Deshaun Hand, and Benito Jones. We ain't jump off. That's cheaper.
But the truth of the matter is, Calais Campbell played at such a high level in his reps. Mm-hmm. Now you remove Calais Campbell, we about to find out.
That's okay. Well, we got time to find out.
Unless they get
Kenny Grant. Unless they get Kenny Grant.
This draft is filled with D tackles.
Or Talik Williams out of Ohio State.
Stop telling me the draft is filled with D tackles.
So you can't get one at 48, TD? You can't get a start at 48?
Listen. I can go get a starting quarterback at 48, but we don't know if he gonna be one.
Well, we know the Dolphins.
Y'all talking that gambling right now. You're 40, a defensive tackle at 48.
Mr. Wilkins was a gamble.
That's what
he got injured.
Christian Wilkins.
Hold on. Can we address the elephant in the room, though?
Let's get something straight. Where was Christian Wilkins drafted?
First.
What number was he drafted?
13 overall.
13.
You mean to tell me a 13th overall pick is the same gamble as a 48th overall pick?
Oh, no. Okay, we're not saying that.
Well, but we have the 13th.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't we have the 13th pick this season?
Yes, but so you want to use that on a D tackle? Is that what you want to do?
Well, you just said. Where do we just got? Well, hold on. I'm not saying I want to do that, but to the point, that's where we got Christian Wilkins. Why not now?
No, well, that's the conundrum we in, because we could say the same thing about left tackle. We could say the same thing about safety. We could say the same thing about corner right now, because Malachi Stark's there potentially. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With the safety's there. Will Campbell is there.
Nick Emenwari
potentially. Nick is there.
And the elephant in the room.
Which one do you go with? Because you're gonna have a hole. Which one is most important?
I'm gonna tell you where you go.
Tackle.
I'm gonna tell you where you go, TD. You go quarterback. You go Jackson Dart at 13, because that's the biggest damn problem on this football team.
That's
the biggest problem we got on. Hold on. That's the biggest problem.
I'm glad you brought up quarterback.
Don't bring up no quarterback when we got our guy already, man.
Hey,
you guys see the looking at us?
Hey,
you know
I got a question for you now.
I was about to come up here and say these are my two favorite two-and-nears up here, TD and Tony, man. My two favorite two-and-nears, man.
Hey, TD, Lewis. I'm glad you say that, because you hate Tua, and you from what you just told me today.
Who hate Tua?
You, sir.
Lewis, let's just say what we do. Take Jackson Dart. I don't understand the pick.
Shadur Sanders guy, and you don't like. Can you please explain to me the difference between Shadur and Tua outside of staying healthy?
One was trained by Tom Brady and one wasn't.
One who?
And hold on, let's back up. Yeah, he was trained by Tom Brady. Yeah, he was.
And what did they show you on the field? Did he give you
Tom Brady? He reads defense.
Brilliant baller who could read defense, and guess what? He could take a hit.
I say outside of injury.
Durability.
I said that.
That's the biggest.
That's everything.
Don't say outside of injuries, because that's all that matters.
No.
Is this how far we fell down? How desperate we got for a quarterback? Then as long as they stay healthy, it's an upgrade. Is this how far we fell?
If Tua stayed healthy the entire time, that would be an upgrade on his entire career.
Yeah, we still be a first round exit.
No. That first year with the Bills. That first year when we brought Tyreek in, we would have beat the Bills. Skyler almost beat the Bills. If he would have stayed healthy that whole year, we beat the Bills that first year.
Can we
start? Skyler made plays in that game that Tua couldn't do.
Can we start
I'm not even gonna go there.
Can we start with the Skyler almost beat the Bills? The defense scored 7 points. They had 3 turnovers and 7 sacks. Can we stop?
So what Tua would have done if he was on that field?
Tua would have lost that game. What you talking about?
Okay.
You know Tua would have
lost worse.
Yeah, the same thing he's been doing. They're not going to play on Skylar Thompson the same way they're going to play Tua. They know Tua's weakness. They have his number.
Tony, the fact of the matter is, when I hear that argument with Shadur Sanders, the durability, right? Okay, that's where the argument ends. The play on the field is the same between him and Tua. The arm strength ain't there with Shadur.
I don't want a quarterback better than Tua. I want a quarterback that can get us a Super Bowl.
Stop.
Lou, here's the difference between Tua and Shadur, the biggest difference. One spot throws, the other doesn't. The other actually real.
When you throw with anticipation, that's not
one allows the play to develop. One and extends to allow the play to develop.
Well, Shadur don't extend nothing, because the man had negative rushing yards in his college career.
He's going to have no. That's the difference between extending.
Did you see his O-line? Did you see Colorado's line?
About the worst O-line in the country, but
he does same O-line. The Dolphins got the worst O-line in the NFL.
No, we're talking about the difference between them two in college. We're not talking about the Dolphins right now.
Y'all are just wrong. Here's what y'all missing about Shadur with his extension. Shadur was what he had to deal with that O-line in those trenches. What y'all not recognizing is the fact that he intentionally held on to the ball too long. He know he did, because every play he had to try to make. How can he pass stats when he's he's literally going toe to toe?
He didn't want to throw interceptions. He didn't want to mess up his completion percentage. TD, how was his O-line in Jackson State? How was his O-line in Jackson State?
I can't let you give false information like that. You can't say somebody padding stats when they rarely ever got blown out, and they were always in.
Well, when I'm saying that, I'm talking about more of his percentage. I'm talking about more of his percentage. He didn't want to mess up his completion percentage.
What do you mean he didn't want to mess up his completion percentage?
That's the name of the game.
If you throw the ball away, you messing up the
though.
completion percentage.
That's the name of the game. Everybody like that, bro.
No, how often did he think about Shedeur Sanders? He knows when to throw the ball away.
Now that's cap. Now I can't let you say that. That's cap.
No,
that's cap. He hold on the ball way too much. That's why he got sacked so much.
Yes,
way too much.
That's an issue. But guess what? He had to.
Well, how you know when the
But look at how many big time plays he made from holding on to the ball and extending the play.
And again, when the game was on plays, them big time plays though. If we're gonna be fair, we're gonna have let's have a real conversation about Shedeur Sanders.
Tomato cans.
If you throw on that film and you watch, it's a bunch of throws where he's throwing the ball up in the air and Travis Hunter is making plays on the ball. Let's call it for what it is.
No, bro. When you have a playmaker just like Tua has Tyreek, that's what Tua throws it up, right? And Tyreek makes a play. But the difference between Tua and Shedeur, Tua gonna do that regardless. Shedeur will at least extend the play, process it, and say, this is worth putting up to him.
TD, I got one question for you, TD.
Putting up to him to go make a play.
Let me ask you a question, TD. How many times have Shedeur took in the field with an inferior team?
What do you mean?
When he stepped on the field, his team was inferior to the other. I'm talking about going back to Jackson State all the way to Colorado.
College, Tua never had the inferior.
How many times was his team inferior to the
other? Tua never ever had an inferior team, no matter who he played against. In college, Tua had the better team. Hold on. We're talking about the difference, though.
No, we ain't talking about no difference. I asked him one question about
We'll talk about Shedeur.
Yeah, we're talking about Shedeur.
Probably 90% of the time he came on the field with an inferior team.
I'm done. In Jackson State too?
Hold on, Tony. No, in Jackson State, I would probably say 50% of the time. No. What you fail to realize is how long were they at Jackson State?
2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
With the number one recruit in the nation.
With the number one recruit, not recruiting class.
And well, you don't gotta have the number one. I'm talking about in the nation.
Not one player.
Well, Cam Newton went over there and bought that team championship.
Bro, I get that.
Cam Newton went to JUCO. Cam Newton went to a junior college.
Which is worse. It's
worse than
and he brought him a championship.
Tony,
he didn't have the number one recruit on there. I'm telling you, when the quarterback is him, he shows up in that against that lesser talent.
Tony, what you don't realize,
he had a horrible game in that championship.
All those guys in the SWAC that didn't make it in D1, all those guys in the SWAC that didn't make it in the big conference, some of these other teams were powerhouses in the SWAC. I'm not talking about compared to SEC and all of them. I'm talking about D2 football. Some of these other teams were powerhouses. Deion came and changed that right away, but he didn't have everything.
He don't need everything, but his team was better than the other one. He didn't need everything, but it was better.
Did he go to the D2 championship?
How do you like his performance in big games? How do you like his performance in big games?
I loved his performance in big games.
Oh, you talk about 2 interceptions? 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions in the first. At Jackson State.
Here's what you fail to realize. Okay, you keep going back to Jackson State.
And then in Colorado, the bowl gate got blew out.
You keep going. Hold on. You keep going back to Jackson State. Yes, he did get blown out.
I'm talking about all big games. I'm starting from Jackson State.
He did get blown out in the bowl game. You keep talking about Jackson State. That situation in Jackson State, how can you even judge that when the man is coming in there changing a program who didn't even want to give the right money that was necessary, and he changed all of that. He left that program in a really good place. Yeah, okay, Cam Newton did it, but let's not act like are we really gonna sit here and talk about the politics, the D2 football? Did you see?
We don't know. That's a different.
Tony, Glenn College was a competitor before he even got there.
What happened with Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah, but
absolutely.
And those are people he was competing against. So that means he had an advantage even in that aspect, because they didn't do Deion like that. Deion had they didn't do him like that. So he had an advantage there.
He didn't have an open checkbook to him year one. Come on, man.
They weren't going to have the checkbook.
HBCUs, brother. So they didn't like they got the bag.
They didn't need an open checkbook. His checkbook was just bigger than the rest of the HBCUs. You don't need an open checkbook. You just need more money than the rest of them in that division.
His checkbook ain't bigger than Hampton's. His checkbook ain't bigger than some of these other.
Yes, it was, TD. That's why he bought them kids over there. Yes, it was.
Oh my God!
And he bought sponsors. And he bought them sponsors over there.
You got schools giving the marching band bigger checks than the football team.
Not at Jackson State, they weren't. Not at Jackson State, they weren't.
I would agree, but
man,
Tony,
come on, bro. Yeah, bro. Bro.
Now the bands are big things over there. I ain't gonna lie. The bands are big things.
Okay.
That's a real deal over there.
State thing. I don't like to judge the Jackson State situation.
No, I'm just saying, from Jackson State to Colorado.
But Tony, that's where you got him right there, Tony. TD is right. Let's not go to Jackson State. Let's go to the last game that Shedeur Sanders ever played in college.
Hold on. This is my point about Shedeur in Colorado.
Okay.
This is what I feel like y'all are missing. Y'all are going to like the bowl game and stuff like that, right? Let's go back to his first year at Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Every game they were the underdog.
Absolutely.
Every game they were the Tony. I think you really need to go look at where their O-line was ranked. I think you really need to go look at where that D-line was ranked. Even worse.
Okay. That was a real problem. Now, if you give me that D-line, that was the real problem.
But were they not putting up 40 points and losing?
Not every game, no.
Not every game, no.
Come on, TD. Some of them games, he brought them back in the second half when the defense got lackadaisical. We're not going to leave out context.
The defense
Let's not do that.
Lackadaisical every week almost. What are you talking about?
No, you talking about Colorado. I'm talking about the opposing. You talking about Colorado defense. I'm talking about the opposing team's defense. When they was up big, Shedeur looked like he was coming back, and then all of a sudden, y'all think he was doing the thing. No, he wasn't.
I can't. You need to stop that mess, man.
Come on, TD.
I'm trying to go back to the final game in college. Again, Tony, you asked a specific question. When was the last time Colorado walked in they had the inferior team? Now, I'm just going to ask, and this is for the panel. Going into the final game, the biggest game of his career, because remember, the first year in college, in Colorado, they didn't make no bowl games. So the second year, this last year, Colorado played BYU. That's Brigham Young University. Mm-hmm. Who had the inferior team in that matchup?
BYU.
They were down 31-0 entering the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
They had a bad game. Bad game plan.
He had a bad game. And all we talk about is the quarterback that we have that leads our favorite team. And mostly every big game he shows up in, he looks like he's scared. I'm sorry. I watched that game from start to finish. Shedeur looked like he was scared, TD.
Lou, can you give me the second game Shedeur looked like he was scared of Colorado? See, the difference between the guy we got now. Hold on. The difference between the guy we got now, who done played in about 8 big games and looked the same way in all 8, versus Shedeur, and you want to point out the 1 out of the 5 or 6 that he played that was big, that he looked scared and bad? Is that what we're going to do?
Again, we're making it seem like Shedeur was going for 400
You
every
out of
game.
all people came on here and threw out Jackson Dart's name. Did you see Jackson Dart versus Florida?
Yeah, he looked terrible.
Well, again,
but that was his only terrible game.
Who played better competition in the SEC or in
I
the
get
Pac-12?
it. I get it, but guess what? We're still using the same logic. Jackson Dart, terrible versus Florida. I mean, atrocious. The man threw a pick, the referees threw a flag, gave it back, and he came back the next play and threw a pick. Like, it happens, Lou. It happens, but it's a matter of how often it happens. It happens every single time. You can't say that happened to Shedeur every time.
Well, and you're right. Let me throw another scenario, another point. So when we drafted Tua, and I was one of the people, so I'll just talk about what I said about Tua's dad, Gallo, walking around our building, telling Brian Flores, what are we doing here, this, that, and the third, right? We said Gallo had so much control under Tua that we wanted Tua to become his own man, and we felt that was a lot of the problems. Do you know who Shedeur Sanders' head coach was at his high school? That was Pop. That was his dad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
His daddy had to follow him to college. Now, it just feels to me, TD, when I look at him, it's more about Prime than it is about Shedeur.
It's
right?
not, but let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, Lou. And I guess I'm trying to convince you, okay? But let me tell you why it's totally different. Prime only made sure that the world got to see his son the right way. That's what Prime did. A lot of people would look at Shedeur if his daddy wasn't Prime. Oh, he's sure. You know, a lot of these guys get passed up, right? Prime just did what he had to do as a dad, just like LeBron did. But this is a total difference because LeBron's son, we'll see how that goes. But Shedeur got the package, though. And all Prime did is did right by his son. But let me tell you why that umbilical cord is going to be easy to be plucked away. Because the boy had already proved it a million times. He stands alone, but he respects his father. But the difference is he's already done spoke. He said one of the main questions that these teams asked him in these interviews, is it going to be without your dad being there? Well, all good things must come to an end. He's already done spoke. He said one of the main questions that these. Oh, Glenn got me.
Yeah, turn off the YouTube, Glenn.
Yeah. He done already said, "Hey, all good things must come to an end." You know, it's my time to step out on my own and be my own man in that regards. And here's why I believe him and why I have confidence. You're gonna tell me you don't see any level of dog in Shedeur versus what you've seen from Tua. Passive since day one. Tua sweats passivity. You see that in Shedeur?
No, I won't go that far.
I think Shedeur is going to be the biggest bust in this year's draft.
Yeah, no, I'm not on that train. If I'm wrong about Shedeur, I'd rather it be on another team because I cannot go through another 4 or 5 years of purgatory. I'm sorry. Now I see him, and I was a big Shedeur fan. I was rooting for him because he went to Jackson State to help his dad out. He did pretty good, but he did fold in that championship game. He played way better. He played way better the second championship game, but they lost in overtime. So the last time I checked, overtime, you got a chance to respond, which means your team got stopped and the other team didn't. Hey, if you're the best player out there, you got to win. So I'm not going to take
Here's my problem with comparing championship games, though.
Go ahead.
Tua went to a championship game. What happened? I ain't talking about
he was a late. He was a late.
About
you talking about against Clemson or against
Yeah, what happened against Clemson?
He got destroyed.
Folded, right?
Yeah, he folded. Trevor Lawrence, outdid by Trevor Lawrence.
But in that same year, did Herbert play in a big game at the end?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know we don't. In that same year, did Jordan Love play in a big game that y'all remember? See, this is the same class. See, we only want to point at the big game. They at least made it.
But Justin Herbert played at Oregon in the Big 12 where the competition is not the same as the SEC. And none of their teams wasn't the best team like Tua had at Alabama. He had the best team.
Colorado had no D-line or O-line.
I'm actually not comparing it that way, Tony. What I'm trying to point out here is these guys are put on a spotlight when other guys get a pass because they weren't even in the game, regardless of being at a weaker school.
Well,
that's why it's kind of unfair, right?
Well, I think it's unfair to give them the criticism that you're not giving the other quarterbacks that was in that draft class. I do give you that credit. But when I'm looking at Shedeur, I'm looking at a guy that's just a little bit above Tua. And I want a guy, if you're going, hold on.
Hey, Tony, that's all we need.
No, not. You go see that? Hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you.
Good enough not to be good enough. We need a guy just over.
Let me ask you something, though. But TD, I heard you say earlier that you was willing to trade 5 draft picks to go get this dude. He's not worth that. Now, if he fall, I'll tell you right now. If he fall, hold on. If he fall, I don't want my team in that position because I know they don't have it in them. Well, they don't have the luxury of passing up on Shedeur and he going to lead and light it up. So I don't want him to fall at 13. But what I would like for him to do is go somewhere else. If he's successful somewhere else, I'm cool because I'd rather be wrong with him on another team than us to take a chance on him. And we in another Tua situation with a dude with all the talent that we see, but it never manifests itself in the big games.
All I'm saying, but why is we keep saying the big games because of one big game?
No. I'm not saying because of one big game. I just haven't seen him in a big game. You know, my favorite quarterback comes out of the
big game every week. I mean, every week it was a big game.
Come on.
With no
Did you-
O-line and no
do you
D-line.
know-
Keep
do you
that
know
part.
how
Keep
many
it
There
out.
wasn't no
games-
big games.
Do you know
No,
how
he
many
said based
games
on the
they-
hype
no,
around
no,
him.
no,
Yes,
no.
he did.
No,
I'll give TD that credit.
If Bethune-Cookman, okay, plays the Hurricanes every year. It ain't big for the Hurricanes, but it's big for Bethune-Cookman.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Shedeur Sanders in Colorado came in as the underdog. Literally,
In 6 games.
seven. It was seven. Seven
Was it
out
7?
of the 11
I looked it up.
games.
It said 6.
I thought it was 7. Last I checked,
Yeah.
it was 7 games.
And
They
you
came
know,
in as the underdog. Like, so all of those were big games. And guess what? They won 6 of them. Of those 7.
No.
Now, I don't like the losses when they lost to a team where they were the favorite. They should have won.
like Kansas.
Like it's certain teams that they'll play and the defense for some reason just can't stop the run or they can't stop the little shallow crossers. And you just sit there watching like, gosh, man, they going back and forth, but they can't stop these guys.
Yeah,
And
but a
those
lot of
those games.
But a lot of those games, though, when we say they're going back and forth, a lot of those games are 21-0 before they start coming back and forth. Right? Those games, they're down 24-0, and now the comeback comes. But the game's already over at that point.
How is it over when the comeback was there and it was a 1-possession game at the end? How is it over?
Well, I'm just saying now you see this is where watch. I'm trying to watch what I say, TD, because I'll be labeled the too and near. But when in our fan base, we don't allow those narratives. But now we're gonna make
no.
Stop. No.
This is where you're wrong, Lou. This is where you're wrong. We're never actually in that situation in Miami where we're down 21-0 right away.
We were hold on.
And we're coming back.
Panthers, we did that. The Panthers and Detroit were the only 2 games. I think Baltimore Ravens. That's the only 3.
We're coming back. And we're coming back.
Yeah, the Panthers, the Detroit, and the Ravens, the only 2 games that I could name.
We don't have those situations, Lou.
Listen, Baltimore
only.
The Panthers and Detroit, we were down 14 against Detroit and on the Panthers and came back. And then Baltimore, we were getting blown out and we came back. That's the only 3 games I can give them.
And if you just want to talk about this season, I'm talking about for the career that we've seen Tua in 5 years. We've been down and we came back. We did it against Kansas City, but we didn't care because Tua ultimately didn't get the job done. We came back against Atlanta 2 or 3 years ago, right? But at the end of the day, he didn't pull the game out. We didn't have our fan base that we love. I'm saying again, whoever it was, at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we're talking about the quarterback and the impact that they had in those games.
And that's what I'm saying. What impact? I don't care.
Outside of the Baltimore game, what game did Tua impact to come back?
TD, what I'm saying is you got to give me more games. I don't care that you won 9 games at Colorado. Cool. That's all you did, bro. That's all you did. Tony is a Hurricane fan.
What more is he supposed to do?
What you mean?
What more is he supposed to do?
All season long, all we heard was Shedeur Sanders was going to be the overall number 1 overall pick, correct?
Okay.
If you that guy that everybody's predicting, then you got to win those games.
Okay, hold on. If Cam Ward slides to 13, do you feel the same way?
No, I would take Cam Ward.
Hold on. I'm gonna make a point. Hold on. You're not gonna feel that same way, Lou?
No. I would take Cam Ward because I think Cam Ward is a better player.
What did Cam Ward do in the bowl game?
He did not do nothing.
Oh wait, he laid it up in the bowl game. Don't you come here with that Cam Ward? I'm a UM fan.
He didn't do nothing.
They was mad because he left.
He didn't even finish the game.
Okay, but when he played, he lit it up. He lit it up when he played.
Hold on. Let's get another thing straight. Because y'all want to hold this against Shedeur Sanders. The losses the Hurricanes got, why did they lose?
That defense.
It wasn't.
And Cam Ward kept fighting to try to bring him back every time, right?
Hold on, but TD, hold on, listen, hold on.
Who do you think is a better player?
Hold on. Can we say
Cam Ward is a better player. Cam Ward is a better player.
Okay.
Remember that same Colorado
I'm using
team?
y'all logic right now.
No, hold on, but I got the same mindset for Cam Ward, and Lewis can tell you because I'm a UM fan. I say I'm not impressed. I want to see if he get us to the playoffs and see how he perform against those games. I got the same stance against them. I'm like, I see what you're doing, but for you to make me a believer, because I'm not. If he falls, just like if he falls to 13, go ahead by all means take Cam Ward. You get what I'm saying?
Do me a favor. In recent history, outside of Joe Burrow, what quarterback has proven that in college to y'all? Outside of Joe Burrow, what quarterback in the last 5 years has proven it in college? With y'all standards, not a single quarterback but Joe Burrow. Well, that's 7 years ago.
What about
how many years? Let me go back.
What I'm saying in recent 5-year history, based off of y'all standard, you don't believe in nobody but Joe Burrow.
Jaden Daniels won the Heisman last year. Jaden Daniels did.
Yeah, but that's a Heisman. That's the Heisman. I'm talking about in the big games.
Yeah, but Trevor Lawrence folded after that.
Dolphins. But we talking about college. Trevor Lawrence did.
And we gave him the same. And I gave him the same team. I'm like, he won that tip. And then the 2 years following that, he didn't have it. I was on the same. I was the same thing. I'm like, no. After I seen after that, now you did be. So you be the dude that choked more than you. Cool, that's fine. And I gave him the same. I was like, nah, I don't see it in Trevor Lawrence either. I'm just not convinced. Now he might come in. Now all this is predicated on moving on from Tua. I'm just saying, if we didn't have a Tua and then you got a Shedeur, well, I'm going Cam Ward anyways because I like his moxie. I like the way he take command of his team, and I like the way he shows up. Period. I don't care. And his arm is like way miles better than Shedeur Sanders. So everything, he has the tools. But I still have the same stance on him and the criticism that the same way I criticize Shedeur, but not doing against the team that I think showed that competition level. I want to see how you compete against them. Like Jaden Daniels did that in the SEC. When them teams are in the playoffs. So I see
the difference between Cam Ward and Caleb Williams in your mind.
He lost some of
I didn't like Caleb Williams either. I didn't like Caleb. Listen,
he got an arm. He got a better arm than Shedeur.
But when I look at them and I evaluate them, I give the same. I keep the same energy with everyone. When I seen Caleb Williams and most of his highlights and the things that Wild does was them off-platform throw and he making things. I say that's not how you win in the NFL. You got to show you know how to win in structure as well as out of structure. And I didn't see him do that consistent enough. So I wasn't a big fan of Caleb Williams either coming out of college. Now everyone else was wild about our arm strength, and Jamarcus Russell had one of the biggest arms ever. Look how he panned out.
Yeah, that's facts.
I'm sorry. I just keep the same.
Cam Ward is going to be that dude, and Shedeur Sanders is going to have great success in the NFL.
He's going to be a bust. He's going to be a bust in this league.
I think he might do, though.
Dang, Lou, man. You know you got to own this one, Lou.
That's fine. I ain't going nowhere, TD. You know that. You know where I'm going to be, TD.
Hey, so he falls to 13. Miami, please don't take him. Is that you?
No. I don't think we could afford not to take him. Now, Lou don't want to be trash.
Lou don't want
I wouldn't want to be put in that position, TD. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest because I think he's too good for them to pass up on him, but he's just not good enough for me to get this team to where I think we need to go.
I'm gonna tell you this like this, and I know TD will appreciate this for being, this is a Tua near channel. I'll take Tua over Shedeur right now, all day, every day.
No, okay, now Lewis, now you're making it look bad, Lewis.
Durability. I can't do it.
Take Tua over Shedeur right now. Sign me up.
You getting 60% of the season.
Hold on, Lewis. You talking about a 5th-year Tua?
The blitz pick up. The blitz pick up. The lost their mind.
Tua had 4 surgeries before the league.
Pick up the lost their mind. Tony, you gonna let him do this?
No, because I'm telling him don't make me look bad. I was like, hold on, Lewis, don't make us look bad.
Tony, that's your co-host.
Well, you know what? One of the reasons I came up here, I know we're talking about other things, but I wanted to go back, if I may, to the Brandon Shore topic, right? Because TD graced the great blitz pickup, shameless plug, right? But TD was on our channel, and I threw my tinfoil cap on, and I threw a scenario at TD. And I brought up there's non-football guys within our organization that are making football decisions. Now, TD, I don't know if you watched, but me and Tony had a debate the other day about Brandon Shore, the comment what Dave Hyde said, and I quote, there was major pushback from Brandon Shore, and he said he did not want to sign Tua. Now, we look at that and we hear that.
He did not want to sign Tua or extend him.
Thank you.
He didn't want to, there you go. He didn't want to extend him. Cool.
Okay.
My problem is with that, even though I can admit that was the right move, he was right in that situation. But again, this is what I was trying to say. If Chris Greer is the general manager and we blame him for everything, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, we just blame him for everything. That's his job title. He's the general manager. if I come up to you and I say, as the general manager, I want to sign this player, your job as the capologist is to go in that office, get on the calculator, crunch up them numbers, and come up and say, hey, we only have allotted $41 million for this player. Now, if you can get him for $41 million or under, bring him in. If not, we can't go over that 41. That's all your job title is. In my opinion, you shouldn't have the power to say, well, I don't want to sign this player, because, again, you're not a football guy. Right? Just you got to tell me what's the number that I can go get a player or sign a player, bring them in. But you don't have the rights to tell me, no, you don't. Like, who is – I'm sorry, bro. Who is Brandon Short?
Can I say something? Bro, remember when Flores was there? They do things as a group. I don't know exactly if they do a group vote or what it is, but one person doesn't get to stop the buck. If three of the lineup say we want it done, it's going to get done. Brandon Short can't stop it.
And right
Greer, what's up?
But right there, that's the problem, right? Because we remember when Brian Flores was here, and Brian Flores supposedly was walking around that building in a white tank top and some house shoes, telling people within that organization, y'all don't know what the hell y'all are doing.
These are facts.
Right? I don't believe that was to Chris Greer. I don't believe that. I think that was to the Brandon Shores of the world and the Tom Garfinkles of the world making decisions. Now, look, let's go down the list, gentlemen. Jim Caldwell, football guy, he's not here no more. Vic Fangio, football guy, he's not here no more. Reggie McKenzie just left this offseason to go to a team with the #1 overall pick in a worse situation than we are. He's a football guy. He didn't want to work. You believe that Reggie McKenzie didn't want to work with Chris Greer? Or do you believe Reggie McKenzie maybe didn't want to take orders from Tom Garfinkel and Brandon Shore, non-football guys?
Mike McDaniel.
It just seems like
I ain't gonna lie.
It just
Brian
seems like
Flores,
every football guy we have in the building doesn't want to work with non-football guys. That's the issue here, gentlemen.
The Brian Flores situation was different because he wouldn't tank. So I feel like they kind of resented him for not tanking when they wanted Joe Burrow. And after that, it was just bad blood. So it's kind of different when he didn't listen to them versus now when Brandon Shore was like, I'm trying to do monetarily.
I believe that's all stories I believe that's all stories they wanted to feed us, man. It's all window dressing. Right? When you hear Brian Flores, there was so much animosity and he treated stop. Like, have you heard some of these interviews that people talk about Brian Flores? See, we only talk about the Tuas and the others that say they don't like him. But we won't talk about the Jerome Baker when he did the interview saying how much he loved him. And Xavier Howard when he just talked about how much he loved him. We don't talk about those
Lewis,
stories.
Can I say this real quick?
You see what I'm saying?
We always get the opinions of people that don't like Flores. But the people that don't like Flores tend to be losers. All of the winners, the people that win with Flores, the people in winning organizations that worked with Flores, they say, "Oh yeah, he's a great guy. We love his culture."
These are facts.
We love his mentality.
Shake wanted to say
the Eagles are winners. Oh, go ahead, Shake.
I'll address that, Lou, after Shake go.
Now, I just wanted to bring up the Brandon Short thing again. This is my guesstimation, and this is what I think Tony was talking about. Every offseason, they come up with a game plan. All right, listen, we're gonna play two on his 5th-year option, right? And this is how we're gonna move the money, and this and so forth and so forth. And then here comes Mike McDaniels throwing a monkey wrench, wanting to sign Tua. He said, "No, man, we have this game plan in place. Let him play on the 5th-year option because they have what they want to do with the money 2 years in advance. You know what I'm saying? So they already have their cap structured, and by restructuring Tua before he needed to, kind of threw them off their game. So I think he was just pushing back because the plan that Chris Greer set forth, and he was probably backing up Chris Greer as well. Because Chris Greer didn't want to extend him
Can I ask a question about what Shake just said real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, could you guys remind me, how many years have McDaniels been a head coach?
3.
3.
And was he a coordinator before that? Was he an offensive coordinator? No.
Only by title because he was only an offensive coordinator by title because they wanted to block him from coming to Miami.
Yeah.
So how many years was Chris Greer GM?
Since 2016, I believe.
2016, was it?
Yeah. So that means Chris Greer has almost a decade of being a GM. McDaniel has less than 5 years of being a head coach, right?
Well, they said 16, but if you really want to, when he really took over from Tannenbaum, it was 19.
2019.
But his title, I guess, of general manager. But remember, they said at that point he was still looking at player personnel, but Tannenbaum had the ultimate say in who was getting drafted.
So the reason why I asked that, Lewis, is in what world? Because the way they frame it is if McDaniel came to beg. In what world is McDaniel able to supersede? Like when does Greer step in?
Saying that.
There you go.
When does Greer step in as a senior and say, "Hey, brother, you've only been coaching for 2 years. Sit down. I'm here as a general manager to protect you from making these type of decisions. Have a seat and let the veterans show you how to not ruin your coaching career, because Tua is going to end his career way before Tua is going to get to the point where he can retire and become a coaching on your staff. You're going to be coaching long after Tua is even playing football anymore. You're probably going to be coaching Tua's kids. So why are you hitching your wagon to Tua Tagovailoa as if when he retires, you're going to retire too?
Let TD go.
I think we're missing what really happened in the chain of command here, because I don't think y'all recognize what Brandon Shore's actual role is, right? Y'all are recognizing, but you're not getting what's happening. So Brandon Shore is in charge of the business and football operations. He is actually right under Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross is the one that made this weird relationship where Greer answers to Stephen Ross. So you have Greer answering to Stephen Ross and Shore, even though it's actually Shore's role, whether y'all know that or not.
Yeah.
Shore isn't only responsible to crunch the numbers. Shore is the lead negotiator with all players and their agents. Greer don't negotiate with agents. Shore does. Greer.
All right, wait, hold on. Wait. Stop right there. Greer don't negotiate with agents?
Shore's job title is listed as Miami Dolphins lead negotiators for contract discussions.
But when the agents come out, they say they negotiate with Chris.
No. In the room is Brandon Shore.
Chris Greer is talking to the agent about, we want you. We want this player. Now let me pass you off to Shore
with the money
to try to get this done.
The deal
Greer
done
just
with
initiates
the money
the
side of it.
conversation. Sure handles
it. Exactly. Greer is talking about personnel. We want that player. We like this player. Can we make it work, Shore?
Yeah.
This is the piece of the relationship y'all don't need to understand.
No, but we said,
can we make it work? Can we make it work? Do you notice he's asking a question, not telling him? But can we make this work? So what Shore ended up doing is looking at this Tua situation. We obviously can make it work, but this is going to kill us in the future.
So I got a question.
Do we really want to do this? Are you sure, Chris, you want to do this? I'm going to tell you my opinion. This isn't smart. It's my job to get it done if that's what you want to do. But you're really crossing the line.
Well, should he say that, though? Should he have the power to say that, TD?
Yes, he has the power to say that, but it's still Greer's decision. But Greer knew it was stupid. That's why Greer probably came back. Yeah, man, they're not liking this one. They don't.
TD, real quick.
I mean, I don't think we could get this one done. And McDaniel, I mean, you don't think that Shore talks to Ross? We're trying to. They want to sign Tua, but this ain't good for us. And Ross is like, okay, thanks for letting me know. If it ain't good for us, it ain't good for us. He's playing the fit.
TD, you called it. You remember, TD, when McDaniels was running the practices and Tua was sitting out? I was reading your Twitter every day. What happened? He was running regular, normal plays when Tua was out. That first play when Tua came back, you reported it. They did a double reverse, deep pass to Tyreek Hill. Even he was selling to Ross that, we don't look good with Tua ain't here. Like, McDaniels got a lot more than just crying he could do to sell Tua.
Which goes back to my original question.
This is all on Mike McDaniel, but here's the last point I need y'all to realize about this Mike McDaniel situation going to Stephen Ross. The only reason this is happening is because Mike McDaniel is buddy.
I said
that's his.
He's a yes man.
Well,
Absolutely.
I got you. I'm gonna go to bat for you, and that's why he went over
here. TD, who you think is out of 9 out of all the people?
You really want to know who out of line?
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel is out
Thank
of
you.
line.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mike
TD.
McDaniel. But Mike McDaniel, he's out of line, but he got a right to be out of line, but he got to own the result.
That's what I said as well.
But it sucks because we want Greer to own it too, though.
But Greer can't own something that somebody went over his head, and
Greer still need to own something.
Hold on, fellas. But that's my point.
That's my point.
Going back to my original question, right? This is the time, and I'm sick and tired of Greer using the same excuse. I just did what the coaches wanted me to do. I just did what they asked me to do. Brother, you're the GM, and you are his senior. Mike McDaniel is brand new to the whole head coaching world. You're supposed to step in and say, brother, I've seen two coaches here. Do not tie yourself to Tua. Don't do that. That's when you step in with your experience and your expertise and you try to help them out. How often do we hear NFL GMs help their head coaches from drafting a certain player or signing a certain player or falling in love with a certain player?
But Chris Greer
never hear Greer doing that.
Chris Greer
didn't want to. I'm gonna just give them whatever they want.
Chris Greer didn't want to resign. Chris Greer didn't want to resign Tua neither, though. That's what the
point, Lewis. It's like this, Lewis.
Nah, let's back up. I'm not gonna say he didn't want to, but he just knew it wasn't smart to.
Well,
so he allowed McDaniel to fall on the sword and go up in that.
TD, let me put it in a simple way. I know all of y'all are gonna understand.
I don't think he allowed Mike McDaniel though. You think he allowed him?
I got a question.
He didn't allow him.
And didn't you just say? And didn't you say in your earlier stream? Had he played on his 5th-year contract, he wouldn't be on this team.
He wouldn't be here.
That's a fact.
Be here.
Hey, TD, let me put it a simple way you would understand, and I'm pretty sure the rest of y'all fellas would too. If TD's son came up to him and said, "Dad, for dinner, I want to eat ice cream and cookies," TD is not gonna look at his son and say, "Well, I'm gonna give you that ice cream and cookies." And if my wife come talk to me and say, "Hey, why is he throwing up all over the place? He's sick," and TD's gonna be like, "Well, I only gave him what he wanted."
I think
Jason, you're the leader. You're supposed to look at your son in the face and say, "Nah, brother, you're gonna eat these vegetables and all this other stuff because I'm your dad."
But let me tell you where that's a bad comparison, right? Because I also know TD would do the same thing, right?
Yeah,
but we
my
know
kids had ice cream and cookies for dinner tonight.
Well, then,
Dan, there go your argument out the window.
Jason, the problem is, remember during the season, right before the trade deadline, we all heard the reports. Chris Greer had a 4th-round pick on the table for Calais Campbell. Mm-hmm. Now, Mike McDaniel went up to the owner. Now, self-admitted, he went up to the owner and told the owner, "No, I think we can make this thing work. I want to keep him." If we're talking about blame, the question was just who holds the responsibility, then it's on Stephen Ross. Because, again, if you have
100%.
If you put it in place to where Chris Greer is your general manager, and to your point, Jason, that's what you're asking for Chris Greer to stand on his own 2 feet, right? To stand 10 toes down. Well, how
generally manage the team? Yes.
But again, how can you when other people go to the owner and the owner takes the side of those other people instead of the general manager?
Exactly,
Lou, I was literally gonna say I'm gonna change who's actually out of line. I was actually just about to say it's really Stephen Ross
for allowing it to happen.
But don't be fooled. Chris Greer knew what he was doing. Chris Greer knew. I'm gonna tell him not to, but if you want it done, you're gonna have to go talk to the boss.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah,
Greer ain't putting his name on it. Greer is like, "Hey, that wasn't me." I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, Greer's ability to survive, don't underestimate it. Greer, I'm telling you, I know what happened. Greer was like, "Listen, they ain't trying to hear it, bro. I mean, I want to get it done, but they ain't really.
What you think about
it's
Greer,
irresponsible. Sure, telling me it's irresponsible. But here's what I'm gonna tell you: you need to go in there and speak up."
Hey, TD.
Yeah.
What do you think about Chris Greer as a GM, TD?
I just want
to. Let me ask TD a question because I see why he answered like this.
Get him out. He gotta go.
How do you feel about Chris Greer as a TD? Do you think he should be out of here?
Go, man.
He'll survive.
So that means you don't want him here. That means you don't want you don't want him here, huh, TD?
Like Greer will make a bad decision and show the world that you made it. Greer will will like it's to me, it's he will manipulate you into doing something, even though it's his decision, but your face is gonna be on it.
Y'all Christopher Greer haters.
TD,
I don't know who worries, the Christopher Greer haters or the Tourniers. I'm telling you,
Tony, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet from, I think his name is Matt Canetta, where he said there's a possibility, and this is what I wanted to ask TD, because we always bring up, okay, they might leave after this season. Matt Canetta, I think is his name. He said there is a world where Chris Greer loses his GM title, but he gets promoted.
Yeah, gets promoted.
Yeah. And Stephen Ross has told us time and time again. Stephen Ross has told us time and time again he loves him some Chris Greer. So I'm like, what's the point of even hiring a new GM if Chris Greer's still going to be in charge of football operations? It's going to be the same thing, just less accountability.
And here's another thing too about Ross setting that precedent is the fact that what Chris Greer says. Nobody, you don't have to listen to Chris Greer because all you got to do is override him and go straight to the boss, Ross. It's just like with the Cowboys. That's what happened with all their coaches is because whenever a coach will try to discipline a star player, they go to Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones, I got you, man. Don't worry about it. So,
Chris Greer loves it like
all
that.
These decisions,
I don't believe
they don't have to listen to management.
Chris Greer loves it like that.
I can't believe Chris Greer likes it like that, though, man.
He doesn't. He does. It absolves him of all accountability.
But I don't think that's what he wants, man. Like it's hard for me to believe that. It's like I just believe Stephen Ross is running this like he got Brandon Shore, a guy that he's done business with in the past. Not
no more Tom Garfinkel, Lewis.
Just business, like Tom Garfinkel, another one, right? So Tom Garfinkel is the marketer for the Dolphins. When we all go to football games and they hand out those free T-shirts and the logos and all this stuff, he's doing a great job at that, right? So Stephen Ross looks at Tom Garfinkel doing that job and he's like, oh, well, look at the quota for this month. Oh, yeah, I made a couple million here, this, that, and the third. You've got a check mark by your name, right? Brandon Shore, oh, this, that, and the third. Cool. They're running it like a business, not like a football team. And the point I'm trying to put out is all the football guys that we've had in this organization, go down the list. Can you believe that Zach Taylor, the head coach of Cincinnati, was once a coach for us? Now, he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been in AFC Championship games. Ben Johnson, the leader of that offense in Detroit, just became the head coach in Chicago. He was in our building. Dan Campbell, he was in our building. Brian Flores, in our building. Vic Fangio just left, won a Super Bowl, in our building. Football guys leave, right? While they're here, they're not good coaches. They can't get the job done. This, that, and the third, we hear about them. They go other places. They're successful. In my opinion, it's because other organizations are running football teams. The Miami Dolphins is running a business. The money aspect, the butts in the seats, the stadium being full, the F1, the U.S. Open, all that money going into the pockets, right? That's what Stephen Ross knows. That's what Tom Garfinkel knows. That's what Brandon Shore knows. All three of those gentlemen don't know football. And until they start letting football guys run the overall aspect of the football team, gentlemen, we have our answer. We sit here for the past 5 years and wonder, why can't this team get over the hump? Because it's a Fortune 500 business. It's not a Fortune 500 football team. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, at some point, we got to let people in power. Whether you like Chris Greer or not, at least he's a football guy. But we don't let him make decisions. We don't let no football guys make any decisions around here, man.
And TD, I want to ask you this. Have you noticed since Ross has taken over, he's always gotten first-year head coaches, but the seasoned coaches like his boy at the Chargers who was at Michigan.
Jeff Harbaugh.
The guy at Denver. You know, all these seasoned coaches don't want to come here because they see how this organization is ran. It's like, no, I'm good. So the only people they could get to become head coaches are first-time head coaches because the guys that been around the block kind of see what the Dolphins are doing and like, no, I don't want no parts of that.
Shake, could I also say another thing, Shake, to Lewis's point as well? Look at the type of people Ross likes around him. He likes non-confrontational, business savvy, statistic guys, right? McDaniel's a big statistic guy. Those are the type of guys he like. Hard-nosed football guys
They don't last in this organization. And then look what we do when we get rid of them. All of a sudden, all of these beat writers have articles writing about, oh, this person was the worst person ever, and they were never gelling in the locker room. Nobody liked them. Look at how we treat the genuine football guys when they leave this organization. What football guy would look at this team and say, I saw what they did to Flores and Fangio and all those other dudes. I don't want to go there because I know my presence is going to make a Garfinkel, a Stephen Ross, a McDaniel uncomfortable. They're not going to like that.
Let me say this. When you say look at how we treat people, there's been people in the media who has admitted without admitting, but just I know for a fact that the team puts out some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The team also steers narrative. So like a lot of this stuff, like there was a lot of propaganda in the last 4-5 years, like coming out of the front office. Certain people that were made to look like the devil. I mean, all kind of stuff. So, and this isn't just coaches, but players too. Make players look bad when it's contract time and all type of stuff. So that stuff happens in the front office. But let me say this. First off, Lou or Tony, y'all put the link in the private chat so I can make sure I plug it. You too, Shake Money. Y'all make sure y'all drop the link for me. And real quick, and plug my own stuff real quick. Ladies and gentlemen that weren't here earlier, make sure y'all check out every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. the Dolphin Collective. We got a new thing going here. Omar Kelly, Alan Poupard, Doug, and myself. Every Tuesday night going forward, Dolphin Collective. So y'all get ready for that. It's gonna be real huge. All right. Hope y'all enjoy it, but come through on Monday. Tuesday. I'm talking about Monday. Come through on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We're live, by the way. You know, I know you used to these guys doing pre-records. We got it live. All right. So the new channel is called Dolphins Collective. All right. I've already showed it to y'all earlier. I think we already got the first 100 subs. We're going to blow this one up, man. So y'all stay tuned for that. Should be pretty dope on Tuesday.
I subscribed already.
Appreciate you, homie. But yeah, I guess let's just switch gears real quick because I guess the wife fell asleep on me. Y'all done got me in trouble as it is, so might as well keep rolling. Let's switch gears, man. We know what the Dolphins should do this year, but they're not gonna do it. So we finna play this year. Do y'all see a path? Is there any solution? Is there any game plan that could actually make us competitive and win a playoff game this year?
Win a playoff game?
Yeah, any path, anything we do that can make it happen at this point?
You got to trade Tyreek Hill and get some capital from him. But at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Waddle would be worth more than Tyreek Hill based on his youth. I don't know how easy it would be to move off of Tyreek Hill. And I know a lot of y'all are Tyreek Hill fans, but if you're gonna build for the win this year, we have so many holes, TD, that I'm not sure how or what kind of path we could go on to where we could win this year. Because, like you say, we have questions. No matter if we like Patrick Paul or we don't, that's a big question at left tackle and at left guard. So those are two holes to fill. Well, technically, and right guard too, because Liam Eichenberg is not the question. We know that he's proven that already. What I would say is they have to hit in the draft. They have to do the unthinkable and hit in the draft and plug these players in. Tua has to stay healthy because one thing we do know, if he stay healthy, he can at least get us there. He can at least get hot and he can at least beat the lower level teams. The problem is with the schedule we got coming on, we might not have a lot of lower level teams that we playing, especially at home. You know how we usually use our home record to carry us to that, just making it into that playoff. This season, we got the big dogs coming here. We already laid it out. So that's not going to be an easy path to that Super Bowl, that playoff victory that we had because we didn't think about it from that standpoint. A lot of the time, we played the tomato cans at home. And that helped us and propelled that season to where, okay, we got to the 11th game, we got to the 10-7, and we eked in the playoff those two seasons. This year it's not going to be like that. And then you add on to the fact that we lost so many key players. It's going to be more difficult for us to Unless Tua carry this team, that's the only path we going, and we know he don't have the capability. I'm sorry, I can't give you a fake answer and act like I have some kind of faith to where we could get a playoff victory out of here. No, unless Tua turns into the guy that all of the Tua fans believe that he can be, that's the only path we have to us getting a playoff victory, because there's too many holes to fill and not enough playmakers on offense and defense to carry us when we have bad play, quarterback play. Like, regardless of what, I'll finish with this. In 2023, a lot of them games we was close in. Remember, let's go to when we came back against when we played Buffalo those 2 times, that defense held them to 14 points. When we was in the game against Kansas City, that defense held them to 14 points. So they was in the games that we were playing on playoff teams, the defense stood up. I don't think we have enough people on defense to stand up in them games, and it's going to have to be all on Tua. And I just don't think he got it, bro. I'm sorry. I just got to go like that.
Well, let me ask y'all this though. Let me shift, because you talk about if Tua can take the next step, but now he's going to have even less around him.
That's the problem.
And then let me ask this. Is this roster currently better than
2022?
Brian Flores' best roster?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think his best roster, he had Jakeem Grant. I don't know if he was on the team with the Albert Wilson, because that team was pretty explosive at that time before Albert Wilson went down. When we had Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson, Jakeem Grant, Kenny Stills. That team was explosive until we got the injuries.
I think that was Adam Gase, though.
What? No. Okay. Well, then
I think that was Adam Gase.
So who was his best? Was it Devontae Parker, Jakeem Grant, and
Isaiah Ford, Mac Hollins?
They did have
Mike Gesicki, Jeff Wilson. I mean, not Jeff Wilson.
Not Wilson. Kevin.
They wide receiver Wilson.
So that was saying the Albert Wilson team. So he did have. So the only one wasn't on that was Kenny Stills. So he did have the Albert Wilson.
He also had Frank Gore.
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore was like year 20, TD.
Frank Gore ran the ball well that year.
He did run the ball well, but
Frank Gore ran the ball well.
Not better. It's not better than what the
running back. He had 1,000 yards,
but he's not better than Achane. Achane is a weapon.
Actually, Frank Gore went to the Jets. Frank Gore went to the Jets that year.
But I'm talking about this current roster.
Right. We got Achane.
Look what Achane did last year.
He still was productive. He got injured, but he was productive on offense. I'm talking about overall production as a receiver. He became a weapon.
I don't know what I'm getting back.
Total yards, Achane was far better.
We also had Robert Hunt. We also had Christian Wilkins. We also had what's his name? Andrew Van Ginkel.
We had Javon Holland.
We had Javon Holland. We had Brandon Jones. What you mean he wasn't a Van Ginkel?
Hold on. Which year are you talking about?
Well, yeah, you said his best team.
Flores' best team
was 2021.
You had Xavier Howard.
Andrew.
Byron Jones was on that team.
No. Byron Jones. You had Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
You had
Javon Holland.
You had Jalen Phillips his rookie year.
Yeah.
Was that Phillips rookie year with Flores?
No, it was Calvin. No, 20.
Remember
Jalen Phillips was
22.
You're right. It was
best year was 2021.
It was because
Jalen Phillips was Waddle's draft. Because remember, we took both Jalen's.
Right, they took both.
That's how you can remember that. We took both Jalen's, and
that's when Nick Needham was actually balling.
Right.
But what? Okay, TD. What
like comparing the rosters, I feel like the pass O-line, even though there was some bad characters on it, without Teron Armstead now, that O-line might be better.
But
TD, are you just going by? Hold on, give me a second. Are you just going by the names that they sound good because we seen what they did after, or the actual team that's with a symbol and the production we got out of that team?
No, these guys were making plays. The only difference was the wide receiver core was night and day, in my opinion. And we still had a solid run game.
No,
the running backs are better now, but we still had a solid running game.
What's the dude that always was on number 37? Miles Gaskin was his running back.
Yeah, Miles Gaskin. Yeah, Miles Gaskin. Yeah, no, TD.
Yeah, no. Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm talking about the year. What year was that where Frank Gore was here?
No, but these guys weren't here. Frank Gore was like Flores' first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't it. It was like the year before Flores.
Okay, which one you think is his best roster? 20 or 21?
Maybe I guess
21.
I'm thinking of 21. Yeah.
So you're thinking of 21.
The year that he got fired.
Yeah.
No, the year
21. The defense, in my opinion,
into 21.
The year before he got fired. 21. The defense was way better than it is now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think 20 was
that's when our defense beat. That's when our defense beat up on the Rams. Remember when we had like
Yeah. They were stacking them everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, we was killing them boys, man.
So the 21 roster.
In San Francisco, remember the massacre in San Francisco? They called it.
We killed San Francisco too.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. That was 21, if I'm not mistaken.
2021. The defense was way better. So I guess the real difference is like the wide receivers. The O-line, I'll just say it's a wash. It's just the weapons, but we had a better defense. So you really want to say that this team?
Let me give you the roster, TD, so we can have the 2021 roster. We had Tua at quarterback, Miles Gaskin the running back, Devontae Parker, Jaden Waddle. He had Mike Gesicki.
So Waddle washes. Gesicki, I'll just say washes.
And now he had Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, Michael Dieter, Robert Hunt, and Jesse Davis on the line. So that was the offense. So now, do you want to compare the offense?
Let's stick with the offense here.
Okay. So
the only difference I'm seeing, I don't even want to say receivers because it's unfair. Waddle was on both teams.
But we got Tyreek. We got Tyreek.
That's it.
Okay, now tight ends. We got a better tight end, Jonnu Smith.
I'm not going to say Jonnu Smith was better than
he had a better season.
No. But we used him. We didn't use Gesicki right.
Mm-hmm.
We used Jonnu.
TD, that's
we
why
made him a primary part of the offense. We never did that back then.
That's why I asked before. Are you talking about just the names?
Talking about
the production we got?
Yeah, but that's not due production because then we're gonna are we gonna do that when we talk about some of these guys getting hurt?
So we're going by talent.
That's a wash. The best thing to do is wash that.
You know what? I'm gonna give you that one. Okay.
And let's be honest. I mean, we're gonna sit here and act like John who's done that his whole career. This is his breakout year.
Okay, and by the way, John wasn't on Mike McDaniel's best. If we're comparing best off rosters,
no. We talk about this roster.
Current roster that we're about to go to war with.
Flores best roster. That's what it is.
TD, when you posed this original question and then we started getting into the roster, why was that question posed?
It's posed because I feel like we're getting back to those days.
And Mike McDaniel's a real good coach.
TD, we just went 8 and 9. We are back to those days.
I feel like Tua. It's really about Tua. We're about to go back to those days, in my opinion, with a lesser defense.
Right.
With a lesser defense.
Yeah.
And the O-line is going to be an issue. Mm-hmm. Your run game is going to be an issue because your O-line is going to be an issue more now. See, that's another factor that we haven't been talking about. The last couple of years, the run game saw a big boost. We can talk about the names, but let's not act like we didn't have a good run. You know, that zone blocking scheme, we had the right personnel for it. They may have not been great at pass blocking all the time, but we had a really good run zone scheme personnel on that O-line.
Especially in 2023.
But now I can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't. Matter of fact, they regressed last year a little.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like it's going to be even worse.
Hey, TD, can I say too that our best offensive lineman just came off an Achilles injury?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
and I don't even know, is he going to be ready week 1?
They say he should be.
Okay,
yeah, they say
July he's supposed to be continuing football activity.
Yeah,
we don't know what you're.
If he heals like Jalen Phillips,
the question I would have, Tom, before you get into it, because I think I think because TD, remember, his original question was, do we any of us on the panel see a way for the Dolphins to maybe make the playoffs and win a playoff game? I think the better question would be, okay, forget about the rosters. I think we've already established maybe the rosters here and there. This coming into this season, maybe the offense is a little bit better. In 2021, the defense was better. Okay, cool. Let's just call that a push. Mm-hmm. Who's the better coach then? Mike McDaniel or Brian Flores? That should be the better question.
Brian Flores is
the better coach.
And I would agree. So that's why, to the original question that TD asked, for me, I think this season is a lost cause, bro. I think all we're doing is waiting to get to 2026. I think Mike McDaniel has already lost the locker room.
But some people say that we've already started to rebuild. They're just not saying it.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
my problem, but that's a problem. Here's why. Because if you're already starting to rebuild, you're behind 2 years already. And here's why. Mm-hmm. You get your draft picks this year, you still regress as a roster. Mm-hmm. Next year, you lose 3 more. You lose Jonnu, you lose Ramsey, you lose
Tyreek.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now you're going in the draft. And here's what I was trying to preach to people for the last 3 years about this. Here's the problem that the Dolphins have. You lost Christian Wilkins. You lost Javon Holland. You lost Robert Hunt. You lost Van Ginkel. You're going to lose Ramsey. You're going to lose Brandon Jones. You're gonna lose Ramsey. You're going to lose Tyree. You're going to lose Jonnu.
And we lost Xavier Howard. You forgot that too.
So that's 9 that and those are all impact players, right?
Yeah.
For us, that word.
Yeah.
And here's the problem that I kept trying to explain to people about bringing in big name free agents. When all of them are so good, to replace them, you got to hit on every one of them to replace them.
That's what I said. They got to hit.
And here's the problem. Most of the guys we just named are so good that there's like a 90% chance that their replacement is not going to be as good as them.
Yeah.
You think you're going to find the next Tyreek Hill just like that? Even if you got a receiver at number 1 overall,
you got to draft 2 Hall of Famers.
Tyreek Hill is still not great.
If they had Brian Thomas Jr. over top, we would have. But no, you never leave that alone.
You go get a left tackle at 13 this year. He could be great. But the odds of him being as good as Teron Armstead actually still is slim.
Slim to none.
This is the point that I kept trying to get across to people. When it's time to replace these guys, the bar you said it was high, and here's the problem: you didn't even win with them.
That's the key statement right there.
You didn't.
So you think? Hey, TD, now let me throw a question at you.
They weren't even good enough.
Is this the best roster that we will have in the next 10 years? The one that we had,
2023 it was.
Yeah, well, you said in the next 10 years you can't go out that far.
Well, let's say 5 years then. Let's say, let's say 4 years. Let's do a
you got to go 3 to 4 year range.
Let's say 3 rookie contract. Do you think we could?
Yeah, no question. Question.
They could duplicate that roster in 3 to 4 years?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be downhill.
Okay, yeah. That's the problem.
You got this year. Well, remember, this is last year. You got this year, next year, pivotal decisions. Now you could either go down again, or you could just stay the same with making some additions. But first of all, this don't start happening until you replace that quarterback anyway.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
So
right.
So how can we have any expectations with the coaching staff and the front office when you couldn't even win with your best roster?
That's why I asked to see if y'all had something that I didn't. I don't have nothing. I don't have no solution. Like, it's our job. We create content. People want to have hope. Like, okay, what can we do here? Like, I already know they're still going to bring in like 3 or 4 more free agents that are, they're going to bring in a Poyer type guy that, oh man, Poyer's solid. Maybe he can trash. No. They're going to bring in another Calais Campbell at some position. Oh, he worked out. It's going to happen. We're going to bring in 2 free agents that's old, that's going to work out, and 3 others that's old, that's going to be terrible. And we're going to have that mediocre season. And let's keep on rinsing and repeating.
We just need different pedigree in the front office because just like the Eagles GM, he picked up that dude from the Saints, that linebacker. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He picked up
Braun or
that dude.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Braun. Picked up Braun. Well, Braun ended up being the first team All-Pro. Chris Grier's not going to do so. You got to get a different pedigree in the front office, different pedigree of talent evaluators, different pedigree of guys that can build a team.
And and here's another piece of the problem too. Technically, we didn't miss on as many draft picks as we think.
Right.
When we drafted Noah Igbenogany, he was the youngest player in the NFL. We all he was literally the youngest player in the NFL. We all knew
Washington.
Yeah.
Under Brian Flores, give him 2 years or 3 years, and when he get of age as everybody else, he'll be a good player.
Yep.
He played very well for Washington.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, very well. But I believe that that's what he could have ended up being under Flores eventually.
What year would have that been in Miami for him if he stayed?
I think year
what year? That would have been year 4, right? Or 5.
It would have probably been 2023
Flores
season.
Was gone. Flores was gone.
It would have been year 4, I think.
No,
2023
let's say
season.
Flores stayed. Let's say Flores wasn't fired and he was still developing Noah.
Probably by 2023.
23.
Probably by
23.
Probably by 23.
You'd have had him right in the system because Flores was just teaching him a lot of positions, like Minka. Minka didn't like it, and Minka didn't look good doing it either. Remember?
And TD, remember to your point. Remember the season? I think it was right before they left him. He was always in good position. They would say the last step was getting his head around.
He just never turned around.
He never got it. He couldn't locate the ball. So we saw the maturation of his game. We saw that.
But the biggest loss, well, there's 2 more losses the Miami Dolphins have. Let me just get Van Ginkel out the way. I feel like that was a travesty. He could have been a long-term player.
He wanted to stay, according to his wife.
Yep. But you want to know who the biggest loss? Who played the best that we lost?
Brandon Jones.
Brandon, like, how do you miss out on a $4 million guy?
And then he went on to the Broncos and turned into a monster.
He was the second best rated safety out of 180 something safeties.
Oh, he went down to 2. I know during the season they said he was number 1.
I think he went down to 2. He went
you know what's crazy? The Broncos having an excellent DB coach. When I saw he was going to the Broncos, I said he's gonna cook because that DB coach has the same standard for DBs like Flores do.
Showing up everywhere. We went and got Poyer.
Jordan Poyer. And what the other dude? What the name?
The dude from Washington, the corner that we signed from Washington.
No, the safety we got.
Fuller, you talking about Fuller, right?
Oh, no, we Fuller. Oh, he's talking about that safety that played for the Saints.
Safety that got cooked against Buffalo.
The one that played for the Saints and the Jets, I think.
Cyril Neal.
No, not Cyril Neal.
He was a coordinator. I can't remember his name.
The one who went to Denver and got an interception his first game there.
No, he got traded. He went to the Chargers.
The Chargers, I'm sorry, and got an interception his first game there.
I don't know who y'all talking about.
Goodness gracious. The safety that came in with
Jordan Poyer. It was Jordan Poyer and
I remember he played for Florida. He played for Florida, the dude. I can't remember his name now.
He
did play for Florida.
Marcus May.
Marcus May.
May.
Yeah,
he played for the Saints too. Yeah.
That's what we were dealing with, man.
But here's what I want y'all to think about. Can you imagine just those 3 players alone? If Van Ginkel was here, right? And if Brandon Jones was here right now, and if Noah was playing well and he was here, we wouldn't be actually even be having as bad of an outlook right now that we're having.
Nice core on defense, at least.
Nice core. Okay, this draft is a lot more important now. Now we know defensive tackle, middle linebacker, guard. Done. Go a left tackle, Armstead retired. We just screwed up.
But if you would
it goes back to the front office, man.
With the addition of James Daniels this year, you could also argue that Robert Hunt would have been a great addition if we would have still had him. Because then the offensive line would have been solved at this point.
Now, TD, you know what? If I'm going to no excuse for not getting out ahead of that contract, it's Robert Hunt. Because he was giving you production from day one.
I agree.
Now, you could give a little put back with Christian Wilkins because he developed after season 3. But Robert Hunt was a no-brainer from the beginning.
Well, here's well.
He put up great numbers in the
Remember, they put him at they tried him at tackle. They moved him.
Let's back up. Let's back up. Here's what I know. Here's what I know is a fact. They did give Robert Hunt an offer. Robert Hunt bet on himself and won.
But it was too late though. You can't offer him after year 3.
Yeah. But you can't offer him what he got either.
No, I'm saying it wouldn't be that price. I don't think.
Here's the thing about Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt is the epitome of an 8 out of 10. But he ain't gonna ever give you 7 and ain't gonna ever give you 9. I'm just gonna be my 8 every game, every day, and I'm gonna do it well. I'm gonna be a good 8, and that's all you need, and that's great.
That is a fact. Yeah,
and durability too. They tried early, but Robert Hunt was like, I'm just gonna keep going.
But when you say early, was it year 4?
Huh?
When you say early, I mean, was it year 3? When you say early, was it
right before, right going into year 3, right
when
he
his
was
second season.
Yeah, right when he was no. I see what you're saying. Right before
going into year 4. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would have did it after his second season because you with your second round draft pick, you got to do it after year 2, not year 3. The same thing with your first round, you got to do it after year 3, not year 4. You can't wait that long.
It's a tough situation because it is the guard position too, though. You know, in that kind of money, what were you going to offer?
But he wasn't going to get that money after year 2 is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what were you going to offer?
Whatever the going rate was at the time.
10, maybe 10, 11, 12 million, something like that a year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, after
look up Bradley Chubb deal seemed it looked like a deal now.
It just ain't normal practice though. You know what I mean? I can't fault him for it. As long as they offered it after year 3, but he bet on himself, man.
The thing that gets me about these conversations is when we see those winning franchises and they do lose their version of Robert.
That's true.
They just end up finding another guy to fit in, and we know for a fact.
But for the most part, those guys are already in the building. That's
but here's what I don't like about that. Yeah, they do sometimes.
Yeah.
But I look at teams like the Chiefs. I'll never forget, what was it, 2 years ago or something? They had 2 of the worst tackles in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They went forward with it and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. They let them develop. Toward the end of the season, they were playing well, though.
Oh, no, they got rid of them after the year.
Which one? Not the rookie. What year you talking about?
It was 2 or 3 years ago. They had 2 of the worst tackles in the NFL.
Yeah,
2 of the worst.
I think
and they still won the Super Bowl.
Wasn't the season they lost the Super Bowl though to
to
Tom Brady, and then they went and switched them after that year?
No,
they were hurt though.
I know what 2 was.
When they were there, though, they were not playing well.
They good. I remember they had terrible tackles. I remember that year.
Yeah, they went and got the guy from the Ravens, and then they went and got someone else.
It was the second Super Bowl, like you know how it was back to back, and they were trying 3. I think it was the second one because
it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It was 2 years ago because I remember they had the tackles and they thought they were good and they played terrible, but they still won a Super Bowl. But
you came on here and had a rant about it. You said you guys keep talking about O-line. He got the 2 worst tackles in the league. And he still won a Super Bowl with no Tyreek.
Yeah, I think one of those tackles was Orlando Brown Jr. because he just went back to Cincinnati. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
Back to Cincinnati.
Yep.
Yep.
And it was without Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
Without Tyreek,
without left tackles. Come on, man. Yeah, you gonna get me mad, Jason.
Man.
You brought it up. Now,
I told y'all, man, we need a different pedigree in that front office, man. We need a different type of
the interior line was good, and if I'm not mistaken, that was Isaiah Pacheco rookie season, right? When he gave him some good hard-nosed running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, come on, man. That's pedigree right there. That's players. That's and you know what? And I know people don't think that this is a big deal, but your environment matters as well because that's adult. That's like you going into gladiator school when you go to Kansas City. They put you through the ringer over there. They don't have this kickback, nice facilities, and they go inside when it's too hot, and if it start raining, they go inside. They don't got you play in those elements, and that builds character. And so when you get in the regular season, you're used to that. You can't learn on the fly.
This is real.
You know what's funny, Tony?
Hold on. This is real. I just dropped 2 links, y'all. Everybody watching, all 457 of y'all need to click on these links. It's Tua's YouTube channel.
You dropped it in the private chat, not the regular chat. It look like.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
you dropped it.
Oh, dang. Hold on. I'm finna drop it, y'all. I'm finna drop them. Tua's YouTube channel.
Oh, here we go.
Wow, I can't believe this, man. He really did start one.
What's the name? What's the name of Tua's channel, TD?
One of them is the Fins Tailgate. The other one is the Blitz Pickup.
That's crazy.
Hey, I'm dropping the links now. I need everybody watching to go sub right now. Hey. We literally got 150 subs on Dolphins Collective tonight alone. So all 150 of y'all need to go over to both of these channels and sub right now. Right now.
By the way, hey TD, after we leave at 1:00, you know Crypto, right? The dude, he turn up all the time.
Insomnia.
Yeah, Crypto, we finna go live at 1:00 when we do my Saturday episode, Insomnia.
Oh, y'all boys going in. Hey, they coming over. Hey, if you don't go subscribe right now, I'm sending this guy to you. So don't play around.
Hey, can I do a shameless plug real quick, TD? Listen, Monday is me and my co-host down there, Lou. We'll be our 100th episode. We're trying to get to that 500 before we get to that. That'll be this Monday. So if y'all can help, I think we was 36 away from 500. So we get a minimum 36 of y'all. That would be very, very appreciated.
You guys are working hard, man. I could have sworn you just started the channel.
We did just start it, but content consistency.
That's impressive, man. Yeah, that's
really y'all need to go sub that up right now, man. Literally, like 34 away. Come on, man. Let's get that now. Nope. Let's do it. We got 468 freaking people in here. If y'all can't show, y'all can watch the show, but if you can't show love, come on, man. Hold on. Let me put it up. We finna hit that right now. The Blitz pickup finna hit 500 right now.
We will be appreciate that.
There it is. Let's go. Do your best work. Let's go. Do your best work, baby. Let's go. Sub it up right now, man. Let's go, man. Nah, we gonna sit here. We gonna sit here for a while. Man, he looks familiar, man.
That's Alex. That's the one you confused. You thought the other. I'm like, no, don't disrespect our Alex. Like that's our Alex. That's the.
Oh yeah, that ain't the one I was talking about.
The Tua fan, Alex?
No.
No, that's not Alex.
Be all up in my Twitter timeline.
Yeah, that's a Tua near to that.
Hey man, y'all, come on, man. Y'all click on the link, the Blitz pickup. Let me drop that one real quick. Let me drop that real quick in the chat one more time. All right, I'm pinning it. I'm pinning it at the top of the chat. Hey, what's wrong? Oh man, y'all give me a second. I'm clicking the wrong buttons.
That's the two in there coming out of you.
Ain't no two in there over here.
Oh, I thought we went to fella two in there. I came in here, I felt uncomfortable. I was like, oh, man.
That championship belt look hard.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
That should have been on his way. That should have been on his way to Tampa, by the way. Tony's having a hard time sending that through Amazon Prime, man. I just haven't got it yet.
But. You got to win the debate first, sir, for you to get that belt. That's a fact. You got to win the debate first.
I don't know if y'all think updating because I just subbed from another account and it ain't even go
right now. I'm gonna check it right now. Let me go to it.
YouTube trying to hold y'all back, man.
Oh man, two of the two in there done got us. 2 or none done got the boys already.
Yeah. Oh, this one right here.
Let me see. Let me go on it.
Oh, I'm on the wrong one. All right. Come on, let's go. Let y'all just want to sit here.
And you know who that young lady is right there, too? That's been Sanity 5.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, 468. Yeah, 32 away now. 32. Monday, baby. Yeah, TD, if you got some time, you might well pop up for a minute or two.
No, we gonna man, we getting these subs, man. We getting these subs. No, hey, we gonna sit here.
He said the logo not on that belt. The Dolphin logo on.
208 watching right now. Come on. I know everybody over here ain't subbed over there unless they are. Unless everybody watching right now sub. Go over right now and sub to the Blitz Pickup, all right? So that you can get great content on a regular basis. These boys over here grinding, providing content. Oh, man, Calais signs elsewhere. Does the change Miami's draft strategy? Nice. Ooh, y'all boys in the film room?
Oh, like when
during the season.
During the season, our weekend, our Wednesday shows are we do the all 22s.
Nice.
Yeah. So
yeah, we gotta get some collabs going too, man.
Oh, that's that's on in the works. We really wanted to get out there. You know, like you said, we just started, so we want to get out there, put our content out to let them know what they can expect. And then, you know, because once we get them over there, it's our job to keep them over there. So
yeah, hopefully, I've been trying to get TD too, but I know you've been busy, TD. So
what happened?
I said I've been trying to get you on too, but I know you've been busy.
Yeah, bro, I be swamped, man.
Yeah, TD been putting in that work. I know after the episode, TD, when you came over there and you blessed the channel, I know that following morning I woke up to about 48 DMs on Twitter saying, love the show, love the content. We need more of TD and the Blitz Pickup doing some things. So hey man, I think people really love the show and the interaction. So again, bro, we said it the other night. Hey, that's what Tony usually does. He tries to intimidate people, but again, bro, I from the Blitz Pickup to you, TD, you didn't have to do that, but we really did appreciate it, man, for sure.
Nah, I appreciate y'all, man. But hey, listen, you booked me, so hey, you know, I show up on
absolutely, right? Yeah, absolutely.
That is a fact. You know what I'm saying? It was well worth it, though. I will tell you that. We did have a good time. That was my first time actually interacting with you. So, you know, I tend to intimidate people, but you survived. It's all good. You know, you earned my respect.
We know you were undercover to in there, trying to get ahead of the what's gonna happen. Yeah, we found that old YouTube channel, Tony. Yeah,
what'd you say? Say that again. I'm sorry, TD. What you said?
We found that old YouTube channel where you were praising to
well, hey, listen, man. I was told, you know, I'm gonna leave that alone because you know I respect the platform now, you know, and the two Nears might be listening, so I ain't gonna disrespect.
Hey, the world know. Look at him.
He definitely a two Near.
Hey, we lost Lou at one point. We lost Lou for a little bit.
Hey, TD, when you think we got him back?
Hey, listen. Well, week two, middle of the third quarter against Buffalo. That's when y'all got me back.
Oh, man.
That's cap.
See, but this is the problem, man. Y'all got to stop being fooled by these 3-game sample sizes of good numbers, and y'all got to stop, man. The intangibles are the intangibles. They're going to always show up against good competition. And when they don't show up, it shows you ain't got it. We knew this for years now, man. We've known this. So, yeah, a broke clutch. Zach Wilson done had clutch games in his career. Let's call it what it is. We've seen Zach Wilson Zach Wilson played well today. Like we've seen this. Like, come on, man.
Well, so, I'm a Zachaneer right now, TD. I don't know. Well, again, for the people in the chat that don't know, our backup quarterback has more wins against Buffalo than our starter. Let that sink in. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Our backup quarterback has more victories against the Buffalo Bills than our starting quarterback does.
Well, then we should let Zach Wilson play the 2 games against Buffalo.
Hey, TD Tone, Jason, and Shake Money. That people love EPAs and pie charts and all these numbers. There's a number for you right there. 2-1. Zach Wilson got 2, Tua got 1. There's all the numbers you need.
He might have 3.
Zach Wilson?
When
against
Aaron
Buffalo.
when
When
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers went down,
got
they
hurt,
won that game. Yeah.
They won that one.
Some people don't give him
remember,
credit for that because he didn't
I
start
mean,
it.
that was the third play of the game.
Yeah. Third
So
offensive play.
yeah, I think he got 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Hey,
he
King
just
Mill,
they
I
don't
was
count
never
that
to a
he
near.
started.
Do not let it. I'm 2 box tone for a reason. I got 2 boxes to watch that film. No, sir. I was never. Don't let TD fool you, man.
I was at that game, by the way. I was literally at that game.
Which one?
Game?
The
Aaron
Bills
Rodgers?
Jets. I was there.
Oh,
When Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
For Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, you were there? Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, I
you went
was
to see
in the
Rodgers too?
stadium. Remember,
Man.
Roundtable Sports, we had our event.
Oh yeah, that was
AFC East Roundtable. We had the event, and I ain't laughing at the injury, but it was funny.
I
If he
done
was
seen
there,
all them deflated Jets fans.
oh
Boy,
my gosh, boy! And you know I was eating it up. Oh my gosh, boy! That was
especially when they start bringing up how they're cursed. Oh man, you like yeah.
I told Richie, you still got Zach Wilson. Hey, but it was a great game, though. It was a great game. It came down to the wire. So
yeah,
offensively or defensively,
both. Man, that was a good
the game
game
when they won by the punt, right? The return punt.
Yeah, the kick return. Yeah,
the punt. Yeah,
it was crazy, man. That was a game.
Hey, TD, let me ask you a question. Give me your opinion. We just seen a quarterback here recently leave the AFC East. The New England Patriots sending Joe Milton to Dallas, I believe, for a 5th round pick. Do you think Miami should have been invested in that, TD, at all? Like for a 5th round pick, would you have sent that to New England for Joe Milton?
No. No.
You don't think Joe Milton had like any upside?
I don't think there's no repairing his passing game, his ability to throw the football. I like his athleticism and what he can bring from that standpoint.
I mean, he's 6'5", bro, with a rocket arm and mobile.
Yeah, I mean, you could say just throw it down at a Tyreek and he'll go get it, but long term, that ain't gonna work out because you ain't gonna have Tyreek forever. I mean, yeah, it ain't, in this league, you already know it ain't just gonna be about the rocket arm. Matter of fact, be quite honest with you, in this offense, Tua's inability to get the ball way down there saves us. like if Tua could throw the ball 10 more yards down the field than he does, he would have about 10 more picks a season. Like, look how many times he throw the ball.
Aggressive.
The defense is in great coverage, but is underthrown, and Tyreek get to stop and come back. So, yeah, in some of his picks, he throw it deep, and they all over it. So, yeah, again, like somebody said it perfectly. It's like Anthony Richardson. I don't believe in his ability to throw the football consistently. You don't have to be great, but give me better consistency to where I feel like you have time to grow in that area. Yeah. Like Lamar wasn't great at first, but don't miss me with that now. Lamar is out there chilling now. He got it.
Yeah. Do you like any aspects of Zach Wilson's game coming and translating to Miami?
I was just gonna say that he brings the mobility, not as good as the Milton and those guys, but he brings the mobility. And Zach Wilson can throw the football. His process, we need better processors, man.
Yeah, it's decision making.
Yeah, we need better processors. So, like him trying to play Tua's game would be a disaster from an interception standpoint. Trying to anticipate and just put it in a spot, because he may just guess or pick the wrong spot. But McDaniel can make that easier for him by giving him limited options like he gives Tua, cutting the field in half and stuff like that. But what I like about Zach Wilson is when the play breaks down or we in trouble, we still got a chance. And a chance that ain't going to make us hold our breath. Is he up? Is he getting up? Is he hurt? I mean, Zach get hurt too, but he's more durable in my opinion.
But hasn't he been injured every year since he's playing in the game?
Yeah, but he's also taking a lot more hits because he runs the ball a whole lot more and stuff like that. But he still can make plays.
Yeah, he can. No,
but remember this: They're not looking at Zach to revive his career and be the future. They just wanted to show people, hey, we're bringing in a starter caliber quarterback. He started. He has experience. That's really what they're trying to do with this, and that's a major fail. You could have went and got Jameis Winston.
You saying they're not trying to do the Sam Darnold effect?
No, they're not. Miami's not. Like we're making that out of this. We're selling that, but they're not. Miami isn't looking at it that way. It's still about two of them.
When I hear you say about his processing and some of like his decision making, I'll ask the panel this: do y'all think that sitting under a coach? Because remember, Zach Wilson was in Denver last year. He didn't get a lot of playing time because obviously Bo Nix took that job and just ran with it. But do you think that's a benefit to Zach Wilson sitting in that room getting coached up by a guy like Sean Payton? How much stock do you guys put into that?
You know, that's interesting. That's interesting, Lou. And let me tell you why. Some people say if he was that good, Sean Payton wouldn't have gotten rid of him. No, Zach Wilson made this decision. Zach Wilson said he wanted to go where he actually had an opportunity, and he's not going to have an opportunity with Bo Nix now doing what he did.
Mm-hmm.
So the real jury is we don't know what Zach was in Denver, really. We like people speculate and all, but we haven't gotten a real solid word on how he actually did in Denver. And maybe he crushed it to the point to where he was that valuable and Miami got word of it. But he know he's not going to get that playing time behind Bo now because Bo, as a rookie, came in and did his thing. So you never know, man. Maybe they feel like they do have something that they might be able to tap into.
Mm-hmm. Can I pose this scenario too?
Absolutely.
Think about this. Robert Saleh was his head coach. Everybody knows that Robert Saleh and McDaniel are thick as thieves. Now that he's with San Francisco, do you think that he consulted with Robert Saleh before making this acquisition and saying, what do you think of Zach Wilson, of his intangibles and his work ethic and things of that nature?
Well, it's crazy, Shay. It's crazy because when Mike McDaniel was just sitting down, one of his latest press conference, when they asked him about Zach Wilson, he said the 49ers, when he was part of that coaching staff, they were high on Zach Wilson. And he made it seem like they were trying to trade up. Because remember, they traded with us. That's how we got those 3 first-round picks. And when they traded up and they took Trey Lance third, that's only because Zach Wilson went second. Mike McDaniel was basically saying if Zach Wilson was there, they would have picked Zach Wilson over Trey Lance. So could Mike McDaniel some of the information he was on the scout team.
He was on the scout team. He was one of their evaluators. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was very high, or the 49ers was very high on Zach Wilson. So maybe he does believe that Zach Wilson might be the guy for this system. I mean, time will tell. I know TD says that all the time. Time will tell, but I don't know. I think Mike McDaniel might be a little intrigued with
his rookie season. He ran the Shanahan offense because McFleur's brother came from San Francisco his rookie year. The offensive coordinator he had his rookie season. McFleur. He's McFleur's brother from Green Bay.
Yeah, he was with the Jets.
Problem with Zach is he always clocked in a terrible touchdown to interception ratio, man.
Yeah, he did.
But then we could say that about pretty much every quarterback that played for the Jets.
Which is true.
The Jets' quarterback graveyard is just, the organization just doesn't know what to do with quarterbacks.
Yeah, them quarterbacks look horrible over there at the Jets. Every quarterback.
And never really played a full season either.
The quarterbacks over there?
No. I'm talking about Zach.
Oh.
Never played 17 games. You might be right.
Sounds like a Chris Beard product to me.
How many quarterbacks over there played the full season?
Well, I mean, let me do this. I want to do rookie to rookie comparison. This is very interesting.
Rodgers just did, right?
Who?
Rodgers just did.
Did Rodgers play every game this year? Last season?
I think so. I think so. He might
That'll be the
have
first
missed a
time
game or
since.
two.
That probably would have been the first time too.
Since
probably Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold played 13. No. You got me saying Sam Darnold. Let me see. Who is this? That's Zach Wilson.
Oh, Geno Smith.
I'm trying to do a comparison here.
With Tua and Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Tua only played what? How many games Tua played his rookie season?
12? Tua started.
I was like
10,
12, right?
He started 9.
Oh, okay.
He started 9.
Yeah, so it was kind of 9.5 because remember that Baltimore game he came in.
He came in, to
even though we already had the game pretty much under wraps. Here's what the numbers say. Like even both of these guys' rookie season. The reason why I'm comparing it because it gives you a fair assessment of early on without what they say is the right coaching for him, right? So Tua had 9 starts and he threw for 1,814 yards divided by 9 starts. That's 202 a game. Zach Wilson had 13 starts and threw for 2334 divided by 13. 180 a game. So Tua from the gate, 20 more yards a game. Tua ran a touchdown to interception ratio of 11-5. So 2-1 almost. Zach Wilson was 9-11. That's bad. 1 to 1.2 is the reverse. So yeah. But a lot of people are saying, you got to go off of the fact that it's the Jets. And Tua was sacked 20 times. Zach Wilson was sacked 44 times.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know this. In 3 years, Zach Wilson was sacked 113 times in his first 3 years.
Yeah.
Tua's first 3 years, 61. And you talk about old lines. And this is Tua playing more games, by the way.
Yeah.
Tua playing 6 more. Tua in the first 3 years, Tua started 25, 34 games. Zach Wilson had 34 games. Actually, both of them the same. But Zach Wilson was sacked 113 times, double Tua.
Yeah.
When you talk about O-line and issues, that's crazy.
But I mean, this year kind of proved that, right? Because wasn't Tua one of the least hit quarterbacks in the league, and yet he's still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, we had offense getting rid of the ball quick with Tua. They let Zach Wilson let plays develop, trying to, throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what Mike McDaniel turn him into. But Shake Money's about to go live. And I'm about to get out of here. Give me a good shower.
TD, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support, brother. Means a lot.
Always, bro. Well, thanks for coming through tonight, man. We got to do this more often, man. We got to do it more often.
The Gators might win because Duke lost tonight. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah, Houston won. Yeah, this was actually fun.
Gators versus Houston.
Actually fun. I actually got the final correct. So I got Houston and Florida in the final. So my bracket looking nice. I was 3 out of 4. The only team I didn't pick in the final was Duke. I had Alabama over Duke. So I'm liking my bracket right now. I do got Florida winning everything. So let's see if I do my thing on that one. Victory. But TD, I want to appreciate. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate your support. We are. Let me go back. I ain't even what are we? We only 26 away. So the one that haven't subscribed, if y'all can subscribe, even the one that come watch this afterward, go subscribe, show us some support. We got good content. If y'all like what y'all hear over here, y'all want to see me cook Lewis on 3 days out of the week. Y'all come over there to the Bliss pickup. TD came over there. He made it out. So I got much respect for this guy. That's our fellow Touanier. So if you're a Touanier, come on over to the Bliss pickup.
Oh man.
Hey, by the way,
they've been in hiding. I don't know. I can't find them.
That's a fact. What are they?
One thing I like about Omar Kelly being on the show is one thing I like about it. You're gonna have a Carroll City Chief represent, right, Tyrone? Go Chiefs, baby! Carroll City in the building.
Oh man,
orange and black, baby.
Hold on, TD. I gotta ask you a question real quick before you go. What you think about? Because I know he's gonna be one of your co-hosts. What you think about Omar random rant the other day about, Chris Greer wanted Lamar and you guys are putting all this stuff on Greer and not everything is Greer's fault, and that just came out of nowhere. It's like I'm like, what was this something that Chris Greer told him to tweet, or was he just really fed up by the fan base? Like, where did that just come up? He just woke up one day and said, you know what, let me dedicate 2 to 3 hours of my day to defending Chris Greer and his whole tenure at Miami.
I actually have no idea. I didn't even know that happened. But what I will say, sometimes what happens is he may know something that somebody came out and said that's opposite of what he knows to be true. So he wants to basically set that straight. And then that could also have you in a state of defending more than you need to, I'll say. So I don't know. I have no clue, but hey, maybe we'll find out on the show Tuesday night, and then I could ask him about it and see where we go from there.
What time Tuesday, TD?
9 p.m.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be tuning in.
Yeah, it should be good. I'll probably behave the first week, but then
yeah, you gotta.
Lou, any last words before we get out of here?
Hey, TD, always a pleasure being with you, and get ready. Your Zach Wilson jerseys will be on sale soon. We just got to get whatever number he's going to wear. But, hey, come join me in the bandwagon, man. Zach and Near, man.
The oos is loose, baby. The oos is loose.
Absolutely not.
Tony came up with that, by the way.
All right, well, listen, man, I got to roll, fellas. Let's lock back in. Let's lock back in maybe next week sometime, man. But I'll be in contact. Y'all just hit me up on Twitter in a DM, and then we could figure out like scheduling and stuff like that. But I got to get out of here. Love y'all. This has been a long night, way longer than I thought. But hey, it was a good one. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We are out. Peace.
Yes,
we love y'all, man.